This VOD was streamed on twitch.tv/ShamanthaPlays. If you want more, go over there and give me a follow. Okay. We're doing... I know this is supposed to be a pre-stream checklist, but, you know, impromptu, 24-hour notice stream today. So we're checking our levels. I wish you could copy paste. Oops, wrong thing to do. I wish you could copy paste audio setups from one scene in OBS to another. You know what, I shouldn't be saying this when I have no idea if I can, but just setting up each one is just so much work. God, streamer complains about having to do too much work. Regardless, hello VOD watchers, if anyone is watching a VOD. How are you all doing today? I am doing not great because I just came from, well, not literally just came from, it was maybe 12 hours ago before I went to sleep at an insane time, which is like 12 noon. I went to bed at 12 noon and I went at like 6. My sleep schedule is crazy right now. Regardless, 12 hours ago, I finished the new Hunger Games book, and I mentioned yesterday on stream that it was utterly devastating, and it kept making me cry, and that fact did not stop for the rest of the book. It just kept going and kept hitting, and it was just non-stop hit after hit, and weeping after, what's the noun for that? Whatever. It was sad. It was devastating. I spent a good 2 hours talking about it and analyzing it and noticing things and realizing what bits of the original trilogy and the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes gave it new perspectives, and it was just very sad. Emotionally draining, exhausting. So that was what happened. That's literally all that happened between when I clicked end stream yesterday and right now. I literally got off stream, lay in bed, and read the book for 6 hours, and then talked with people for 2 hours about it, and then lay in bed thinking about it more, ate lunch, and then I went to bed, and then I woke up, had dinner, and now I'm streaming again because I really want to finish this VN on stream, even if I'm not sure, because this is a rather impromptu stream. I don't know if any of my friends are free, and I really don't mind. It's fine. I can yap to myself. I'm very good at that. But, you know, no hard feelings if any of my friends aren't here right now. I understand that this was not my schedule this week, so I did not think anyone would be here. But that is the small streamer life. Even if no one is here, we push through. Another thing, as a disclaimer, in case you're watching this back, or in case anyone walks in right now, yesterday, my voice was in all right shape. It's never in good shape, because sometimes I mumble, and you know, all that great stuff. Is my PNG tuber even talking? No, she's not, actually. But my voice is never in great shape. it's always in all right shape because I mumble. I need to take voice lessons or something, like those lessons that voice actors take. But I gave in to my little baby sister saying that she wants to order dinner, and we did, and I got a cream of squash soup and what is known over here as quesong puti, which is white cheese, literal translation. I don't know if that's what that actually means. Anyway, the point is, I had dairy for dinner, which means that if my voice starts to get really weird and I gotta start coughing more in the middle of the stream, that's why. It's because I can't help myself and get a nice milky soup before a planned stream. Cause I'm a masochist that way. It had to be the one night where I'm playing a visual novel. So that's fun. That's fun. Oh, I'm gonna switch to the game now because I was fiddling around right before stream. And I noticed so they have achievements, right? Which is crazy to me. This tiny team made achievements and I love that. I realized that there are achievements for getting 0 hearts with everybody, and you default to 3 hearts with Pope Innocent. So like, and I don't remember how many hearts you default with at the start with Bellini. The choices in the introduction scene might have affected that, but you start out with hearts with people. You can end the game with 0. You can just insult them at every turn, and that's an ending. Cause that's amazing. The everyone fucking hates you ending. I love it when games do stuff like that. It's like it goes like, cause I know a lot of gamers have the tendency to be like, my gaming fantasy is that I'm mean to nobody because even though it has no consequences, the consequences are they are upset with me. And, I totally get it because I'm the same way. I don't want these little pixel people upset with me. But the fact that there's an achievement for being like, I need you to, on purpose, upset these pixel people is incredible. I think more games should do that. So, let's continue. We are... Okay, I think the yellow heart is you get their confessional. Okay, so we're gonna go back and we're gonna continue. Well, I'm gonna load because continues stress me out. Alright. I did not read the gospel yesterday. Let's read the newspaper first. Satanic panic or satanic preparation? Yesterday marks the second instance of an anti-Catholic demonstration as seen with the defilement of a church only 5 miles from the walls of the Vatican. As we close in towards Halloween, it makes many suspicious of the timing. Is there to be a neo-Satanist movement in Italy? I don't think that's what Satanism is. I don't believe. Okay. Highlights: small businesses, Rome Floyd Chamber annual meeting, Fed plan, child tax credits, paid family, blah 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 blah. Models girls soccer team wins on penalty kicks to reach the final 4. You know what? Good for them. Good for them. It is sunny and beautiful Vatican City. We look at our official portrait of Pope Innocent XIV, and we read our gospel. The Gospel according to Luke, chapter 13, verse 18 to 21. He said, therefore, to what is the kingdom of God like? And to whereunto shall I resemble it? It is like a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and cast into his garden, and it grew and became a great tree, and the birds of the air lodged in the branches thereof. And again he said, "Whereunto shall I esteem the kingdom of God to be like? It is like to leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal, till the whole was leavened." Yep, we definitely got this gospel in Catholic school. The mustard seed, yeah, we know. Okay. Ray has not messaged us since. Let us start day 5. Let me take a sip of my Sprite. Perk me up. Oh. Is everyone in the same spot? Everyone except Sister Agnes and Tremblay is in the same spot. Tremblay. Let's look back. Who were we with? Okay, it was Tedesco. So okay, I recall now. We were on our oh. I just realized that his face changes when you hover over Bellini. He's blushing now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I need to relax. I cannot be getting high on the yaoi cocaine so early into the stream. Hold on. Let me blow my nose. This is what I mean about why I shouldn't have gotten that cheese and that cream for dinner. I hope my mic's muting system there worked. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to cut that out of the VOD. Okay. So yesterday, it was our Bellini, Tremblay, Tedesco run. So now it is our Sister Agnes, Adeyemi, Pope Innocent run. Yes, hello Velicho. We are once again back, and we are not technically romancing the Pope, but you know, close enough. Okay. I'm actually really curious as to why all 4 of these fuckers are in the same area. So I'm gonna talk to Adeyemi. We are talking to Bishop Adeyemi. Hold on. Dan and Phil is still playing. And this game is still muted, which... There we go. Dean Lawrence! It is morning in the outskirts of the administration building when Bishop Wozniak catches up to Lawrence. The man is breathless, as though he has been running. Oh, brother. I love that he says brother. That is so me. Literally, we're the same. No, the smack. Oops. I did not mean to do that. Smack. Oh, Janus, what can I do for you? I just had a meeting with Pope Innocent and he asked me to take this to Sister Agnes at once. But I've been scouring the convent and I cannot find her. Bro, she's in the map. You can just click on the map and say, talk to Sister Agnes. It's that easy. I have to meet with Secretary Bellini in 15 minutes and I need someone to deliver this memo for me. Brother, relax. I was gonna talk to her anyway. Of course, Your Excellency. I'll get it to her as soon as possible. Do not worry at all. Thank you, Your Eminence. I will see you around. Alright, run along, Wozniak. He leaves, sprinting off to the offices of the Holy See. Lawrence shakes his head fondly after the harried man, before opening the doors of the building and entering the administration foyer. And who should he find but Bishop Adeyemi? talking frustratedly to a handful of other bishops. He nods to them, then walks over to Lawrence. The others disperse. Ah, good morning, Dean Lawrence. Good morning, Your Excellency. A pleasant meeting? Adayami scoffs at this. Not as such, I'm afraid. Just gossip. You know how it is. You know what? I can't say no to a good bit of gossip. I should have Ray do this, but I doubted myself. Let's say you're better than that. We have to set an example. Adeyemi is not one of the people that I trust to be our bitchy little selves with. Oh, you're better than that? Glass houses, Thomas. I suppose that's fair. Do tell. Just idle nonsense among the bishops. Linens not folded well, meals undercooked, that sort of thing. That doesn't seem much like gossip to me. Apparently, the convent keeps tabs on all of us. I thought that was known? Adayemi leans in. Oh, he blushing. His cologne is intoxicating, and Lawrence feels the need to close his eyes at the proximity. No, I mean, they keep tabs on us. The whole convent has it out for me. That's why my clothes are too starched and my dinner's inedible. Can you blame them, actually? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Sarcastically, no way, that's crazy. Okay, I don't need to call him stupid, okay? I feel like that's a little below the belt. Let's just say the first one. That's certainly a thought. That's bitchier than what that's bitchier than what the dialogue choice said. I've never had that happen to me before, and the other bishops can confirm this. Not as of yet. I'm the only one this is happening to with this level of frequency. But they all believe me. Apparently, Bishop Michael said he spoke sternly to a nun at breakfast, and then at dinner, and then he was given the toughest bit of veal he's ever had in his life. I think the nuns have never done anything wrong, and they are completely justified in doing this. And I think you bishops need to get a fucking grip, you know? Get a grip, man. Oh, wow. You don't believe me? I scarcely think I deserve this level of sarcasm from you, Tomas. Adeyemi looks a little miserable at that, and Lawrence immediately feels guilty. Apologize. I'm sorry. You're right. That was rude of me. It's not that I don't believe you. This just seemed like it's just the paranoid ramblings of tired old men. It kinda does. Lawrence thinks for a moment. Can you think of any reason why they would do this? Have you been a bitch to them? Have you treated the nuns badly? Adeyemi stares at him, confused. Not one. Incredible phrasing. I'm gonna need to take a moment here. Give it to him what? Okay. I think we need to call him out on his bullshit. I will say, this is pretty realistic to the arc that Lawrence is going through right now, in that I, as a person, am less, let's say I'm a sim Yesterday, my needs were all full. I was happy, I was patient, I was capable of resisting the urges. But now, I'm more tired, I'm sleepy, and I did not sleep that well. So, maybe my patience is a little thinner. Maybe this is how Lawrence would feel after 5 days of managing all of these guys. I tried to think of a nice word. See, do you see what I mean? I'm not as patient as I was yesterday. So we're gonna give it to him hard. Exactly, Valicho. Hard. Don't be a naive little fool, Joshua. Not to me. Adeyemi is taken aback by this. An awkward smile forms on his lips before turning into laughter that spills over. He claps Lawrence hard on the side of his arm. You make me laugh, Tomas. You mean Shanumi? Is that what this is about? Okay, I like all of these options. But I want him to acknowledge her position. Sister Shanumi? Alright, I get it. I just don't understand what the issue is here, I suppose. I've paid my penance a million times over. I don't understand why these women are punishing me so. She's returned to Nigeria now. All is well. Lawrence considers how best to word things. That's me. This whole time, I'm like, my patience is thinner than it was yesterday, man. You're not gonna get shit from me. You just don't get it. You know what? This is what I would say. But if we're role-playing, then Lawrence is also an old man. So, it's just a little weird to go in this hard when he is also just a guy. Maybe I like the middle point of you will never understand her. Consider her perspective is a little too softball for me. So, let's just do the second one. Joshua, we will never be able to understand. The lives we lead in our roles as heads of the church are entirely different from that of our sisters. Correct! They have solemnly sworn their lives to quiet labor, and we have the audacity to get upset when they dare to express themselves. You are not viewing Sister Shanumi's harm as legitimate. You won't even recognize your son as your own. You are not viewing our sisters as people. Don't you understand that? Correct! Snaps. Go off, Cardinal Lawrence. Adeyemi looks floored. He crosses his arms and has the decency to sound ashamed. I hadn't considered that. Of course you hadn't. I was about to say something really mean. I know. Say it! You really are the demon. I was just gonna call him a dusty homophobe. I'm unsure how to make amends. Take this memo to Sister Agnes. That's not what I'm gonna tell him. But that's really funny. It's just like, how do I make amends? Here, do this errand for me. That is so underhandedly bitchy. I have to commend him that this is an option. Obsessed. No, we're gonna say be better. That may be a little too atheist of me, but words mean nothing, Joshua. You have to start being more thoughtful towards the sisterhood. Correct. Lawrence gives him a wiry smile. Apologies wouldn't hurt either. When you see her next, apologize to Sister Agnes for what you've put her nuns through. When you finish, I expect you to write a full letter of apology to Sister Shanumi back in Nigeria. You need to own up to your actions, Joshua, and take some responsibility for everything, past and present. Recognize what you've done to her. Recognize your son. She deserves to hear that from you. It was all she wanted at the conclave. It is the least you owe her. And the Yummy nods profusely. I won't disappoint you further, Thomas. What I did was unforgivable. I know that. I want to be a better person. I'll take my leave now. I'll pen my letter to Sister Shanumi right away, and I'll find Sister Agnes this evening and apologize to her directly. I can only hope my letter will bring her closer. She does not deserve my terrible pride. Excuse me, Tomas. He gives a slight bow, then exits the admin building's foyer. Lawrence, with an odd sense of pride, walks up the stairs to the second floor. Perhaps being a manager isn't too terrible after all. I don't think that went that badly. I think that went fine. So now we go to Sister Agnes and deliver her memo. The bell tower chimes out, signaling to all within earshot that the afternoon has just begun. Dean Lawrence is doing a once-over of the Vatican Gardens and is in the middle of checking over a few fountains when he spots Sister Agnes a few paces over, carrying a large bag of flour. She adjusts her grip on the bag and gives him a wave. Why are all the flirt options with Sister Agnes so unhinged? They're so funny. I would like to say a regular, normal greeting that a normal person would say. What a wonderful afternoon, Sister Agnes. It's so nice to run into you again. It's nice to see you again too, Tomas. How have preparations been for you? I sincerely hope you're feeling alright with your workload. I'm well enough. Lawrence can tell she is not saying everything. I feel like we've talked to her twice. Let's press her this time. I think we didn't press her the first 2 times. Well enough means miserable in Curious speak. What's wrong, sister? The late Holy Father spoke often of your pushiness. And I am in many ways grateful that you deem me enough of an equal to rear the firm hand of yours that is so respected amongst the College of Cardinals. And in many other ways, I am vexed by it. I am overworked. This is the life I have chosen and will continue to choose. Yeah, this is very Catholic. Just incredibly Catholic. I serve God. I am not significant enough to need this much consideration for my emotions, Tomas. So I wonder why you would even bother to ask. Did Pope Innocent put you up to this? I'm not gonna say he did. Let's just say I don't want to flirt with her. I wish there was an option of this that did not have those implications. It's just the italics that I do not enjoy. I'm just doing my job. As Dean, my job is to ensure all who live in the Vatican are feeling supported in their jobs. You are obviously included in that. It was poor management on my part that I was not as supportive of you as I should have been in my last tenure as Dean. That's incredibly kind of you to say, Tomas. I am appreciative of your newfound support as Dean, but I am perfectly capable of handling my duties. I have been doing them for some time, as you well know. The silence is awkward. There are so many falling pipe sounds, they're killing me. What about you? How are your preparations for All Saints' Day coming along? They've been well enough. I was actually on my way to do... Thomas, you just said, well enough means you're miserable in Curious speak. I was actually on my way to do a once-over of the fountains. I noticed a few weeks ago several spouts had become clogged. I need to mark them for the gardens to fix before all the camera crews arrive. Would you like to join me? I know you're busy, but I'd be delighted to have your company. Can I not give her the memo? Well, I could use a bit of fresh air with all my time inside. I suppose I could walk with you for a little while. Can we not give her the memo? Lawrence removes a spool of bright red electric tape from the pocket of his cassock and spins it around his index finger. Sister Agnes gives a soft chuckle at this and shifts the weight of the flour sack on her other hip. It looks cumbersome to carry. Say nothing. Hashtag feminist. Oh my lord. You know I'm gonna pick that one. You know I'm gonna pick that one. I'm gonna pick that one. Say nothing. Hashtag feminist. Lawrence and Sister Agnes walk to each fountain, doing a thorough once-over and placing a large strip of tape around any spouts that have even slightly decreased water pressure. Nothing but the finest gardens under Pope Innocent. They stand before a fountain in the shape of a lion with a pathetic little stream coming out from between its teeth, clogged with moss and calcified over. Poor little Bambino Leon. Always spitting, never allowed to drink. Perhaps one day you'll be allowed to rest. Oh, girl! A flash of white and maroon startles Lawrence and he almost drops the tape. Dean Lawrence, I've been looking for you. What you need, Ray, is something the matter. We're running behind on schedules on our translations for the statements and press releases for Saturday and Sunday. I know you're busy, but we need them right away. I know Bishop Tremblay is working on the translations now. Have you considered asking him to help with more than just the sparse garlands? Not without your permission to move it out of our hands. Delegate away, Ray. I will never be offended at the delegation of tasks, especially on such short turnaround. I agree. Then I'll have him working on those shortly. 1,000,000 thank yous, Ray. I appreciate how much work you've been putting in. And I know I don't tell you that enough. Yes, appreciate Ray forever. He does so much for you, brother. You definitely do not, but I know you do. Good afternoon, Lawrence. Sister Agnes. As O'Malley walks away, Lawrence finds Sister Agnes staring at him strangely. She fiddles with the flour sack in her hands. Is something the matter, Sister Agnes? I'm sorry that Ray interrupted you like that. No, it's not that at all. I'm just confused, is all. Confused by what? Only days ago you led the charge to get Tremblay exposed as the con artist he is. Then I hear you and Pope Innocent went out of the way to keep him residing at the Curia. That you've been going out of your way to comfort him, and now that you're entrusting him with the press release translations for All Saints Day. I trust your judgment, Tomas, but I wonder how you can be so trusting so easily, in spite of everything. I don't think I would be able to do that. I feel you, sister. I'd always fear I'd be let down again, and it would be my own fault. I'm a glutton for punishment. Alright, Thomas. I'm not saying that one. I guess I'm an optimist. I have faith in my fellow men they will do what is right. I should hope you have that faith too. I don't need the guilt trip on her. Cut off that last sentence. Cut that off. You don't gotta tell her that she has to trust as well as you do. She is not. You're not in the same position. I never figured you for a fool, Tomas. You must have more sense than that. Our responsibilities are more important than blind faith. Our very religion is based on it, sister. I'm surprised you carried grudges with you so heavily, not pulling out the Jesus card. My position within the church has made it a necessity to learn a level of self-preservation. I understand why you may not be able to see things my way, and that's alright. Perhaps it is best if your faith remains blind, so mine may be a bit shuttered. Variety is the spice of life, as they say. Lawrence places a long strip of tape within the lion's open mouth, hanging it out like an unfurling tongue. They both laugh at this. That's all the public-facing fountains. Thank you very much for walking with me, sister. You're very welcome, Tomas. Thank you for inviting me. Can I give her the memo? Sister Agnes. You as well, Dean. I thoroughly enjoyed today. Please come and see me at the convent soon. I guess we're never getting dessert back. We're never getting that dessert. We're never getting that dessert. Okay. The old man for gore, indeed. Pope Innocent. Let's go. Dinner date. It's evening, and Lawrence is having his daily meeting with the Pope. There's nothing unusual with meeting with the Pope in an office. After all, he first spoke to Pope Innocent in one when they first met. However, for some reason, Lawrence has an uncanny but justified feeling the two of them are stuck in a time loop every time they meet in this room. Your Eminence? These all are valid options. I like the thought of the turtle pond, though. Let's do that one. It's too bad it's so cold out today. It would be nice to have this meeting outdoors. Oh, I wouldn't mind that. We wear so many layers that sometimes it's like a relief. Be a little too cold. Or so I've found. I might be alone in thinking this, though. Pope Innocent is outwardly relaxed enough to be making small talk about the weather. Lawrence can't help but wonder about the results of their last long discussion. Through taking confessions, Lawrence has come to know that the internet usage can be as addictive as alcohol or drugs. Even the most self-disciplined people sometimes confess to seeking things online that were bound to upset them. I like that they gave him the flaw that he's chronically online. Maybe the Pope shares that particular struggle as well. We're pressing further. How are you otherwise? Did you cut back on your news alerts? I did. Good. Your Holiness? I met with Monsignor O'Malley today. We discussed my goals and wishes for the reports he's going to do for me. Did he answer all of your questions adequately? Yes, he did. It feels like a hard stop to the conversation, even though Lawrence isn't sure why. Let's let him gather his thoughts. Let's not push. We already pushed once. Lawrence stays silent, but conveys interest with his eyes. See, sometimes you can do that with your eyes, right? I tried to do this in D&D, and suddenly my DM is like, how do you do that with your eyes? And I'm like, sometimes you can, right? If you're close with the other person, if you've been traveling with them for maybe months, years, sometimes they can see in your eyes at least a general understanding of what's happening. You don't have to speak. Sometimes they just know. It's strange that people live this way now, isn't it? Let him gather his thoughts. Lawrence continues listening silently. Anyway, I have a feeling that you still think I'm looking at news alerts. For what it's worth, I'm not. I'm happy to be not looking at them. But something troubles you. Yes. My mind feels much clearer after disengaging with all of that. Isn't that a good thing? Yes. But many people don't have access to an expert like Monsignor O'Malley. From my brief attempt at monitoring what people say online, It left me feeling awful, but I felt like I couldn't look away. I feel better, but also somehow worse for stepping away. I don't like either of these options. It just feels like we're making a joke. Are you worried about the impact it will have on Monsignor O'Malley? Okay, that's better. That's better phrasing. Yes, I worry about the Archbishop's well-being. I worry about everyone's well-being, truth be told. I tried to follow along with these news alerts for just a few weeks. How do people cope when they've been engaged in this habit for years? I don't know, man. I got no answers for you. This shit is hard. My understanding is they don't. Yeah, cope, that is. Real. I wasn't completely isolated when I was abroad. I would make use of the internet to, I don't know. What's your Reels account, bro? Be aware of bad weather or outbreaks of hostilities, things like that. But I wasn't paying attention to articles about cats that look suspiciously like the new Pope. I had to keep moving. Is that a real thing? Did that happen when Pope Francis got elected? Everyone comes to the papacy with some skills they need to learn. The church is obligated to understand how people are using the internet these days, but I was always bound to be the least equipped to deal with it. I'm sure the nature of your ministry precluded that, not any failing on your part. We aren't meant to know the future, but sometimes I do wish the Lord had given me an inkling. Oh, the world is so unstable, there's no time for me to fail in this. You aren't failing. Don't speak in terms of success or failure, Your Holiness. We have full confidence in you. Thank you, Your Eminence. There are many stories in the scriptures about people struggling to communicate. Last night, I accidentally reread the passages on the Tower of Babel. Do you think it should happen a second time? Pope Innocent laughs. No. My difficulties had made me think about the moments just before God struck it down. Did you come to any conclusions? I know it was a lesson to humanity, but I find myself wondering if it wasn't an act of kindness as well. Hold on. Pause. Yep, okay, that's fine. Being that high above Earth, being able to have all of humanity's knowledge at your disposal? Yes, that would naturally lead to pride, but it might also make a person paralyzed with indecision. And so, from this interpretation, God was protecting them from seeing the world the way God sees the world. Yes, that precisely. Will this come up in one of your homilies this week? If so, you run the risk of Tedesco thinking you're pointing out flaws in the Tridentine Mass. Subtweeting his preference for Latin, you mean to say? Why would you make that reference to Father Lawrence? He doesn't understand. Oh my god, Pope Innocent is chronically online. We have a chronically online Pope. We're doomed. We're doomed. What does that mean? Don't worry about it. Me when I make a horrible meme reference to my friends who aren't as chronically online and they're like, what the fuck are you trying to say? And I'm just like, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I will, of course, pray that God delivers the guidance you seek. I am grateful. Sometimes the cat memes are funny. Yeah, we gotta say that. We gotta say that. We have to, like, connect with him, empathize with him. I can also ask Monsignor O'Malley to highlight some positive commentary on actions you've taken. That might help focus your efforts as well. Yes, I'd be interested in that. Thank you, Tomas. He made no mentions of cat memes. Lawrence leaves the papal offices a bit tired, but in a way that feels surprisingly good. Before the late Holy Father's isolation and paranoia took root, he and Lawrence often had discussions about the intersection between faith and practicality. This meeting with Pope Innocent reminds him fondly of those days. However, like Pope Innocent, he sometimes scolds himself for not paying enough attention to important things in the past. He can't save the late Holy Father from his loneliness, but he'll do his best to help keep the new Pope away from that path. We never delivered the memo. We're never getting dessert. Alright. Long time no see, Monsignor O'Malley. Any progress is good progress, Dean. I got work done, so I feel alright. Alright, we sit in the sofas. How's our flock? No, I'm missing half a heart. Oh, we only got half a heart with Sister Agnes. She's hard. Maybe, I guess she's just hard if you're not constantly flirting with her. Okay. Unfortunately, well, I don't know what unfortunately. I don't really care as much what Tedesco thinks of us. So, still closest with Cardinal Bellini, I see. It's good to see things are going well on that front. You got close to it with Bishop Adeyemi. It's sweet how much you care about Bishop Adeyemi. He has much to learn from your thoughtfulness. I truly hope I can impart something upon him. He is a wonderful servant of God. He just needs to lose that stubborn pride. I have faith you'll guide him there. Thank you, Ray. Did you see the article I left on your desk this morning? I did, yes. It seems a little ridiculous. Yeah, it was. I'm not so certain. I don't think Satanism is necessarily behind everything, but with an event coming up, it's best to take extra precautions. His Holiness won't like that. I know, but I would rather have him upset with a few metal detectors and a few extra searches for visitors who have something than have something serious happen. Thomas takes a deep sigh. If you think it's best, I trust you, Ray. Thank you, Tomas. I'll let you rest for the evening. Good night, Ray. Good night, Tomas. Monsignor O'Malley leaves, and Lawrence sinks further into his sofa. Good night, my friend. Oh, 2 days. This might be shorter of a stream, I think. Okay, hold on. I need to hydrate before I read the gospel for today. Okay. The gospel today is according to St. Luke, chapter... Thank you for redeeming hydrate. I will hydrate again. Before you were here, V, I was talking about how I made the mistake of having milk. Thank you for the posture check. I had milk and cheese for dinner, so now I keep getting mucus up in my nose while I'm trying to read out this dialogue. So, you know, that's fun. The Gospel according to Luke, chapter 13, verse 22 to 30. And he went through the cities and towns teaching and making his journey to Jerusalem. And a certain man said to him, Lord, are they few that are saved? But he said to them, strive to enter by the narrow gate. For many, I say to you, shall seek to enter, and shall not be able. But when the monster of the house shall be gone in, and shall shut the door, you shall begin to stand without, and knock at the door, saying, Lord, open to us. And he answering shall say to you, I know not whence you are. Then you shall begin to say, we have eaten and drunk in thy presence, and thou hast taught in our streets. And he shall say to you, I know you not whence you are. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth when you shall see Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of God, and you yourselves thrust out. And there shall come from the east and the west, and the north and the south, and shall sit down in the kingdom of God. And behold, they are last that shall be first, and they are first that shall be last. Sometimes I wonder, when I read out the gospel at the start of every day in this game, what my mother thinks in the other room, because she's actually still practicing. So, like, I wonder what she thinks I'm doing. Don't worry, Kettle. Absolutely nothing gay has happened quite yet. So if you're today I finished one day where we went for Adeyemi, Sister Agnes, and Pope Innocent. So you have not missed any of the Bellini. Also, V, I am lactose intolerant. That's why that gives me mucus. But also, I think milk and dairy just gives you mucus in general. A lot of singers and performers avoid it straight up because it makes it harder for you. It makes your nasal area a little more, a little smoother. Just dairy gives you mucus in general. I think it's just extra bad for me because of I'm a little more sensitive to dairy. Okay. I hope you did not miss any groceries running your way home. All right, let's start day 6. Oh. Okay. So today is a Tedesco, Tremblay, and Bellini day. We went to Tedesco last at night. So let's save Bellini for the night, and let's go to Tedesco first this time. Oh. Hey man. There you go, his vape is fine. Good morning, Joffredo. I see your vape has reappeared. It is the same vape, right? Yes. I went to the address you sent me and bought a new charger. That fixed the issue. I'm glad to hear it. Yes, I know you cared deeply. I'm just glad I didn't have to buy a new one. We all know I think change is terrifying. Yeah, you're being tongue-in-cheek, but you do. Like, what are you saying, man? It's impossible to tell if that was a self-deprecating joke. Lawrence decides to keep things moving along. Thank you for meeting with me today. He's just like, haha, you think I'm a fascist. Isn't that funny? I'm crawling to you with my tail between my legs. I'm sure you are thankful for this. Whatever could you mean, Joffredo? You know as well as I do that my meeting with the Archaeological Commission wasn't very friendly. I'm sure they reported it to you seconds after I left. I'm not spending every waking minute scheming against you. I may have heard something. Okay. I feel like if I picked the first one, he wouldn't believe me. Like, he straight up wouldn't believe me. He'd just be like, you lying liar who lies. Tell me what you know. So I might as well just admit that I may have heard something. Yes, I heard as much, but it was because I called them, not the other way around. Still can't give up on monitoring us all, You can't be angry at me for being disinterested in your concerns and then get angry at me for taking an interest. Fair. Anyway, do you care if I smoke in here? I kind of care a little bit. Me as Cham, not me as Cardinal Lawrence, I kind of really care. So I'm gonna ask you to stop. Why are you suddenly giving me the chance to stop you? He looks so dead inside. Look at this face. This specific sprite is a work of art simply because it conveys such a breadth of emotions going through his head. It is incredible. Look at his dead-eyed stare. Look at how he's staring at the middle distance. It's incredible. Why are you suddenly giving me the chance to stop you? You never asked for permission before. You told me to be polite to your staff. Tedesco inhales briefly, and you are, technically, a member of your staff, Tommaso. You know what? The staff member I'm most difficult on, probably. That's what I'm always telling you. You often look like you're being held at gunpoint. No. I've only ever been threatened with bureaucracy. Worse. Tedesco gives a hearty laugh at this. It's pleasant, deep, and warm. After taking a hit, a particularly vigorous puff of smoke surrounds Tedesco's head, making him look like an angel lost in the clouds. Guys! Then it clears, and Lawrence realizes Tedesco's eyes just look tired. That they have this whole time. I'm willing to hear about the meeting from your point of view. Oh, look at the smoke effects flying in from him. It's so funny. That's generous. There isn't much to tell. From what I witnessed, the information Monsignor O'Malley shared was correct. Oh, that killed him to say. So the artifact likely doesn't belong to Saint Mark then. Yes, it belongs to some Marcus something hereticus. Probably one of the wealthy ones, so he had a million names inherited from the battlefield accomplishments of older generations. Surely you can't begrudge the ancient Romans' pride in their own history. What's there to be proud of? The men of that era just got into civil war every 5 minutes. You know what? This troubles Lawrence. Tedesco has never been fond of the pagan Romans as people, but he can always be counted on to take pride in the long history of the Italian peninsula, at least. Call him out. You used to be proud of living in the same city as them. I'm not convinced by your sudden disregard of this part of Rome's history. There have been so many times you've spoken about those same men as if they were your long-lost friends. Yeah, I was gonna say, a fascist not immediately revering Rome for some weird reason or another sounds odd, and it tracks that he did before. What changed? You once cried to me over the likelihood that we would never have Etruscan file fully translated. At least not in our lifetime. Did I? It sounds believable for me, but did I really? Yes. A couple decades ago, you were very drunk. Lawrence pauses briefly, his cheeks feeling rather warm. He remembers that night and how hopeful they'd both been for the future. I'm getting a Tedesco flashback. Well, okay, I don't think it's a full flashback. Well, we were both very drunk. And what did you do? Light a cigarette for me? Get me a cup of water? Tell me to go outside? I don't know. I think I just listened. Sounds kind of pathetic of me. But not the worst memory to leave behind, I suppose. Tedesco takes a thoughtful hit of his vape. Was it even possible to do a thoughtful vape hit? If so, Tedesco managed exactly that. Yeah, I see it. All this to say, I've known you for a long time. Which means I know you have at least some appreciation of pre-Christian history. Sure, but I have my limits. This Marcus person probably didn't do anything important. He was just rich. Is that so? Did they say what year the artifact came from? They're still figuring that out? Convenient. So they let you see the item. They answered all your questions. You seem to have accepted their judgment. Why are you so Why am I so? Go on, finish your sentence. Bitchy? C word? Can I say that on Twitch? Why are you why are you so bitchy? Such an asshole? A fascist? I don't know. Why do you look like someone made vaping illegal? Okay, I like the what do you need from me? Why do you look like you don't know what to do next? Maybe because I don't know what to do next. Did you really pin all your hopes on this? All of us frontrunners for the papacy have had to figure out what to do next. You've had to figure out what to do next. It's a stretch calling Lawrence a frontrunner. Maybe he had been one for approximately an hour before the hand of God intervened. He hadn't spent weeks contemplating the possibility of becoming Pope the way Tedesco must have done. Our holy fathers all seem to like giving you errands to do, though. Maybe that takes your mind off things. Oh, maybe I can peddle the breakfast memo on Tedesco. Yes. All Saints Day. Such a menial task. There may be some truth to your scolding, however. Even I don't think it would be very fulfilling to me to keep bullying the Archaeological Commission. He called it bullying. At least he's being upfront about that. What would be fulfilling? That's the question we must ask ourselves every day. Maybe someday God will let me know. No, wait. Don't leave yet. I have a memo to give you. Come on, man. Tedesco departs on a muted but obviously frustrated note. Lawrence feels as though they may have been talking past each other, but no matter how many times he replays the conversation, he can't figure out where things went wrong. Well, it probably went wrong from the beginning because Tedesco is a little bitch, but we move. Alright. Tremblay time. Tremblay. Dean Lawrence runs a hand over his face, staring at the large group of children and nuns on the other side of the entrance gate. He loves helping the local Catholic orphanage. He really does. But during such a busy week, it seems like an overworked task to do all on one's own. Good afternoon, children! Is everyone ready for a tour of the Vatican? Oh my god, he has to make the fun tour guide noise, like tour guide voice. Oh my god, that scared me. He is met with the most ear-shattering cheers of excitement. The head nun, Sister Maria, gives him a sympathetic look. Just as they are about to embark, Lawrence spots Bishop Tremblay, only a short distance away, carrying a briefcase and several folders full of paper. Joe! The man jumps slightly, but manages not to drop a thing. Tremblay walks over to Lawrence. What in God's name do you want, Thomas? You startled me. I'm feeling a little bitchier today. I'm in over my head with these children, Joe. Fine. Just because it's you asking, Tomas. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. Please follow me. Lawrence and Tremblay gather the children in order and begin walking through the prominent sites of the Vatican. Every few feet, Lawrence gives a little anecdote about the building they're in front of. He notices Tremblay is particularly quiet, near the back of the group. I'm not... I'm not... Okay. I want to encourage him to talk. I don't know about winking at him. The last one is incredibly bitchy. And I love it, but now is not the time. We have to model good behavior to these children. I can't be starting beef with my fellow holy people in front of these orphans. You know, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wink at him, only because I don't like the other options. Look at the little star. Aww. Lawrence shoots him with a look, which Trembly intercepts easily. Lawrence, fear overtaking his desire to flirt. Instead tilts his head slightly and offers the French Canadian a warm smile. He pretends, for both their sake, that he's imagining the pale pink tinge that flushes across the taller man's cheek. Good lord. Good lord. Trembly begins giving a brief history on the working horses of the Vatican's past, much to the delight of the children. It wasn't until 1931 that the Vatican City began registering cars within the country. Before that, we used carriages and horses for everything well past when Rome switched over in the late 1800s. Can you imagine watching the Swiss Guard on horseback? Lawrence watches, enthralled by how well Trembly handles the kids. When he is done speaking, Sister Maria calls the children over to a small cluster of benches to eat lunch. You're quite good at that. At what? Catching my... Oh my god. Inspiring children to listen. Those orphans love listening to you, Joe. You talk to them at their level. Do you really think so? I sometimes wonder why anyone bothers listening to me at all. It was probably the money laundering. No, that's not what that's called. It's not the money laundering. It's probably all the bribery. Man. It's very nice of you to say, Tomas. I don't know since when he was so forward and flirty. Maybe the fact that the espionage is not the forefront of their friendship. Anyway, did you notice that little girl in the back? She didn't seem to have a buddy with her, and it looks like she's eating by herself as well. He points to a little girl wearing a graphic t-shirt and a pair of dirty jeans. She looks no older than 8 or 9. She is, in fact, eating completely by herself. Drag him over by his wrist. Lament what assholes children can be to one another. Encourage him to go talk to her. You know what? You should go talk to her. Sometimes all it takes to make a person shine is some encouragement. You think so? This past week, I've seen a whole other side of you. I know in my heart you can make this little girl's day brighter just by offering her some kindness. Hold on. Okay, Trembly gives Lawrence a wide smile and then approaches the girl. He points at her and she excitedly begins talking to him about it in quick Italian that he points at her shirt, okay, that Lawrence has trouble understanding. A couple of other children join in as well until there's a whole group of children all on their phones shouting at each other. He remains until Sister Maria calls them to put their stuff away and then complete the tour. Lawrence is very impressed with how this small interaction made him even more popular with the children. At the end, they wave goodbye. Yes, Sister Maria, I'll stop by next weekend and spend some time at the orphanage after Mass. Oh, that's cute, he turned! Lawrence gently pulls him to the side once the group is out of view. You've impressed me a great deal this week, Joe. I'm delighted by how far you've come. I had a wonderful teacher. The silence is warm only for a moment, before Trembly receives a phone call from someone demanding to know where he is. I'm late for a meeting. Let's talk soon, okay, Tomas? I eagerly await hearing from you. Little gay, little gay. Lawrence watches him wave as he briskly picks up his pace to continue on his way. It is good to see Trembly make such progress like this. Okay, okay. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The gay shit. Let's go see our quote-unquote bestie. It is a brisk evening, the fall air crisp, and the sky an overcast gray. Lawrence is on his way to the Vatican Gardens. Let's do that again. Lawrence is on his way to the Vatican Gardens when he is stopped by a stressed-looking Cardinal Bellini, who is carrying a heavy briefcase, overstuffed with paperwork. Oh, good. I was just going to come looking for you. Oh? I'm on my way to a meeting with Pope Innocent, and I would greatly appreciate your support. I can't not pick it. I cannot pick it. How could I ever deny you? Of course, Aldo. I am at your disposal. Excellent. Thank you, Tomas. I'm planning on going over the diplomats and officially setting their itineraries with the Pope. How would you like me to help? Bellini looks at him, and Lawrence can feel the anxiety reeling off him in waves. Just make sure I don't say something foolish? Lawrence feels a part of him ache at the mere thought of Bellini being so nervous for anything, much less a standard meeting with Pope Innocent. How many guests do we expect to arrive on Sunday? Approximately 46. Assuming everyone shows up, which they never do, and assuming everyone stays the whole 3 days, which they never do either. Not as bad as Easter, then? Bellini shakes unconsciously at the memory. Several cardinals, bishops, politicians, and world leaders had decided that, with the slight decline of the late Holy Father, Easter was the time to pay a visit to the Vatican to see him one last time, just in case. During the weeks of Easter festivities, they had hosted almost 200 of people varying levels of fame or import. It had been exhausting. Yeah, I can imagine. Good lord. And thank the Lord for that. Amen. Why are you nervous, Aldo? I like that a lot of the time, like a couple of times now, when you pick an option for Aldo, Lawrence just says it directly instead of the rewording that a lot of the other dialogue options are. You know me too well, Tomas. The late Holy Father and I understood one another perfectly. We had a system for these kinds of things. But I don't know Pope Innocent's temperament. I don't know his limits. I don't know how he feels about small talk or big talk or political affiliation. The late Holy Father clearly intended for him to be Pope, and I trust his judgment implicitly. So I need to do this well. You've put a lot of thought into this. Of course I have. The Pope sets the tone for the papacy, and we must all strive to match that. Aldo, I know you're grieving, but this is not a healthy way to cope with it. Excuse me? You don't need to replicate Victor Benitez to try and gain the favor of a dead man. Bellini doesn't look at him as they continue walking. He loved you more than anything else. Can't that be enough? I'm just trying to follow through with his wishes. My dear Aldo. This will be hard for you to hear, but his wishes stopped being relevant the second the fisherman's seal was removed from his ring. Please don't be haunted by a ghost that isn't there, I beg of you. Bellini does not say a word the rest of the walk back to the administration building. They enter without comment. Oh, why are you here? I thought this was my moment with my boyfriend. Ah, my friends, it's so wonderful to see you again. It's not wonderful to see you. What on earth are you doing here, Tedesco? Me! What on earth are you doing here? I have the appointment right after yours with Papa Inociencios. Much to discuss with him about the budget for the Venetian Palace. Why get here so early? Well, after I heard my meeting was to be scheduled directly after our beloved Altos, I simply had to be here to see it happen. Damn. You bitch. You bitch. I look forward to seeing him fumble his way through this meeting with our Holy Father. You get out of here, man. I'm sure you remember that Aldo has occupied the role of Secretary of State for some years prior. Unlike yourself, Joffredo. He's more than capable of holding court with His Holiness. Tedesco raises his high eyebrows, humored. Of course, that's why you're here, Tommaso. Bellini rolls his eyes and continues walking. Lawrence gives Tedesco a small nod before following after him into the Pope's office. Do you see this? He called us a slur in his head. Pope Innocent greets them warmly, his face radiant with the light of God. Damn, okay. He seems particularly pleased to see them both. Ah, Thomas, I had no idea you would be at this meeting as well. I don't usually attend these sorts of meetings, but Aldo thought it'd be best I sit in to help keep things running smoothly for All Saints' Day. That's very thoughtful. Thanks, both of you. Bellini sorts out the paperwork in his bag and drops a heavy-looking packet in front of Pope Innocent. He hands a second off to Lawrence, who fingers through it gingerly, as though it might bite him. As always, you're very thorough, Aldo. Pope Innocent shoots Lawrence an amused expression, which Lawrence returns. Don't flirt in front of Bellini. This is gonna make him uncomfortable. Bellini stares the both of them down. Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, let's start with an introduction of each diplomat. I've included their portraits, along with some biographical details I thought would be prudent to memorize. This is that scene from this is unfortunately that scene from The Devil Wears Prada, where Emily is like, Andy, I need you to memorize this giant binder of people that Miranda needs to know, and we're gonna stand behind her and whisper in her ear. Except, I don't think they're gonna be standing behind Pope Innocent and whispering in his ear during these festivities. And this is serious, yes? Not a joke? Bellina gives Lawrence a cautionary glance, silently asking with his eyes if he is being made a joke by Innocent. Lawrence returns one of assurance. He is not. Unfortunately not, Your Holiness. Bellini, you just need to, like... I've said this before. I need the three of you along with Monsignor O'Malley to sit down and play a board game, right? You guys need, like, or maybe sit down, watch, like, I don't know, 5 seasons of Grey's Anatomy together. You guys need to figure out where your humor is, and you need to build a rapport. And you're not gonna do that if you're always just work. Set aside a movie night. Ah, the Lord is not so kind to me. Please continue, Eminence. After the introduction is a bulleted list of things they're likely going to ask you about. From personal experience, this is good to know before talking to any of them, especially if they request a private audience with you. A shocked look passes over Pope Innocent's face, which he is quickly trying to hide. They can request a private audience with me? Not all of them. We'll discuss who ends up speaking with you in a little, but you will have to speak with a few of them one-on-one. Pope Innocent flips through the packet haphazardly. I don't want to talk to the President of the United States. That's so real, brother. Oh my god. Oh my god. I need to know if the team. Wait, no. Yeah. The election was in November. This team worked on this fully expecting Trump, fully knowing Trump was gonna be president. Oh my god. Okay. He's one of the mandatories, I'm afraid. He's Catholic and we do need... Is he? Is Trump Catholic? Let's have a little Google right now. I don't think he's Catholic. Oh wait, no! This is 2019! Who was president? Who was US president in 2019? Okay, it was still... Hold on. In November. It was still Trump. It was his first... It was Trump's first term. So, and I don't think Trump is Catholic. If he was, that's news to me. I wouldn't want to meet Joe Biden either, for the record. The Pope pulls a face. He looks like he's in pain. Oh. Lawrence understands and tries to stifle the chuckle under a cough. Wonderful. I'm sorry, Your Holiness. If it makes you feel better, he'll largely speak about how annoying American evangelicals are. Yes, I'm aware Biden was Catholic, Cleldy. However, this game is set in November, or late October, November 2019. And I believe that was during Trump's first term. So... currently, the president should not be Catholic. So this is an AU where Biden is president during 2019. Which, you know, I'll take. That's not the focus of this game. It does not, but I appreciate your trying, Thomas. Welcome, Leldy, as well. Hello. I can schedule him first. Would that help? Okay, OBS crashed. OBS crashed, but it's fine. We put that back together. I don't know at what point OBS crashed, but hopefully we're back. Hopefully we're back. I was gonna put us to an ad, but I snoozed it because I was like, I don't want to go back and we're mid-ad. So we got an extra 5 minutes. Let's finish this scene, and then I'll run an ad, and then we can take our nice break. Okay. I've been a citizen of Vatican City for many years, and we don't feel a particular love for my home country's government either. That's the spirit. Bellini gives Lawrence a confused stare. Lawrence just waves him off. Well, he was, I believe, Archbishop, or... He did his mission. He was doing his mission in Afghanistan, so I can imagine this guy has no particular love for the United States government. At the end are my own personal anecdotes of interactions collected throughout the years about each figure. The late Holy Father appreciated it, so I thought you might as well. Some of these are quite verbose. You have much to say about the Spanish bishop and his Congress member brother. Yes, Your Holiness. I happened to run into their secretary, who was rather upset with them that day. She spilled quite a lot of their baggage, and I wrote down all that I remembered. Oh, he's a tea spiller. He's just as much of a gossipy bitch as Lawrence is. No wonder they get along so well. Hold on. Why is my bitrate unstable? is my bitrate unstable? What is happening? Time out, guys. I'm trying to figure out why my stream is currently going through it. The bitrate says unstable. Is it my sister? Is she doing something on... That shouldn't affect that. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Hopefully, whoever is still watching can... Okay, I refreshed my stream manager and it says my bitrate is better now. Oh, I'm feeling the mucus from the cheese and milk I ate earlier. I'm sorry if that's TMI. It may be useful in situations where they might try to pressure you to do or say something on behalf of the church that you'd rather not. Gossip and blackmail in the house of the Lord, Cardinal Bellini. Yeah, what do you think has been happening the entire time you've been here, Pope Innocent? How scandalous. I just demoted someone for that. Bellini turns beet red. He's just teasing you. He's just teasing you. Relax. It's alright, Aldo. He's only teasing. Bellini tilts his head ever so slightly. Not unlike a confused dog. Okay. Now the ad is starting. So I'm gonna say, you guys, this is not my choice. Twitch has me doing things like that, or else people get pre-roll ads, and I do not like pre-roll ads. So we're gonna take a break. Hopefully my stream has recovered from that OBS crash, and we will go to a Be Right Back stream. If Twitch is being weird, refresh. And then your stream should be fine. Go stretch, get water, go to the bathroom, you know, chill out, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. All right, BRB. okay, we're back. Okay, Twitch is fine. You're alright, Twitch. Alright, let's get back to our fun little scene with our boyfie and our other boyfie. Lawrence finds himself deeply endeared by it. Aww. He has to physically stop himself from reaching out a comforting hand. Aww. My sincerest apologies for alarming you. I was just trying to make a joke. Thanks for the lurk. My sincerest apologies for alarming you. I was just trying to make a joke. I actually think it's quite proactive. Thank you very much for putting so much time into this. It's no trouble at all. Thomas and the Holy Father were quite right to speak to your qualities. I'm very grateful you accepted my offer of Secretary of State. Bellini is shell-shocked. Lawrence feels something heavy sink in his chest. Pope Innocent wasn't supposed to reveal that. Thomas spoke to my qualities? Oh yes, quite soon after the conclave too. After I asked him to remain as dean, he asked me if I would consider you as for Secretary of State, given you had done such an excellent job for it recently. Bellini gives Lawrence a look brimming with 20 years of adoration and devotion. Oh my god! 20 years! You guys are in love. Oh my god. This is too much. I'm so sick of modern societies and their situationships. Where's the yearning? Where's the devotion? It's in these two. It's all been compressed into these two old men. Lawrence cannot help but return it. All the world's yearning just in this look that they're sharing right now. Oh my lord. So help me God, I'm going to pass out. Okay, relax, calm down. Did he now? Well, I am very glad to have been able to show your holiness my talents. Thank you for having faith in me. The cheerful moment is broken up by a gruff clearing of the throat. Oh, come on, Tedesco! Clearing of the throat near the door of Pope Innocent's office. Cardinal Tedesco, vape in hand, unfortunately, stands almost gleefully at the group in front of him. Buongiorno, your holiness, eminences. Oh my god. He is quite literally cock-blocking. Like, can you leave? The three of us are having a moment. And we don't need you here. Harshen our vibe, right? You've arrived a bit early, I'm afraid. We're not quite finished with our meeting. But how we may help you anyway, Cardinal Tedesco? Nothing to help. I just wanted to come and see the circus for myself. That's not a nice thing to say. That borders on homophobic, actually. Bellini rolls his eyes and places a hand on his hip as a warning, anticipating what's to come. Pope Innocent looks between them, observing. Circus, Eminence? Yes, your holiness. Circus. The spectacle of another tenure of Bellini as Secretary of State for the Holy See. I'd best settle in to watch the schism that follows. Okay, I'm gonna admit, the schism joke is funny. Cause schism joke is funny. I still hate your ass, and I hate that you're interrupting our fleeting tender moment. But yeah, I'm not Oh, say nothing and hope he goes away. That's actually how you let fascism win. So we're defending Bellini's honor. That's enough, Joffredo. If there's nothing you need, kindly leave us so we may do actual work. And stop smoking indoors. You look like a teenager. It's unbecoming. He just said, I've been told I age like fine wine. Just because you do doesn't make you the correct person in this situation, alright? You're just aging well, right? Tedesco barks out a laugh, gives them a rude wave before stepping out, chuckling audibly to himself as he walks back down the hall. Bellini gives Lawrence a loaded and warm smile from across the room. Okay. He feels his chest tightens fondly and returns it. I certainly would have liked to give him a piece of my mind. Perhaps it's best you did not. With men like him, there is a fine line between self-defense and vicious attacks. As Pope, you must avoid both. He is the face of the conservative majority of the Curia, whether we want him to be or not. That's frustrating. Damn right it is. I know, Your Holiness. I am sorry. But I promise I'll help guide you through all the political nonsense. Pope Innocent takes his hand and pats it gently. Thank you, Aldo. You're quite welcome. Now, should we return to our studies? The two of you may continue. You have no more use of me, Aldo. I'll take my leave. Lawrence ducks out of the room. Bellini follows after him. In the hallway, both out of view. And potentially in view of other members of the Curia. Bellini grabs his wrist sheepishly to make him stop. Okay. Wait, they're holding hands! They're holding hands! Okay, hold on. Kettle, are you here? Kettle, I need you to be here. I need you to be here. I need you to see this. Oh my god. Yes! Yes! They're holding hands! This is what they mean when they say the girlies lose their shit. Oh my god, you missed some of the bits, but it's okay. You got to you're here at the important part. Lawrence turns to him and takes his hand fully. Bellini threads their fingers together and squeezes softly. It is wholly unacceptable. Lawrence returns the gesture. Oh my god. Thank you for today, for helping me and standing up for me. Think nothing of it. Bellini returns to Pope Innocent's office. Lawrence walks away wondering if that is what winning feels like. It feels nice. He savors it while you can. We got a dub. We got a dub for our boy Lawrence. Dean Lawrence returns to his apartment. Alright. We're making good progress. We're sitting down. How's our flock? Okay. I didn't expect to accidentally perhaps get Trembly this high. But I'm not mad at it. We got one more heart with Tedesco. Whatever. I'm sad about only 3 hearts with Sister Agnes. Maybe we can remedy that. I think we're gonna break our streak since tomorrow's the last day. We're gonna see Pope Innocent, Bellini, and Sister Agnes. Just try and get Sister Agnes up a little bit higher. I don't really want to hear Tremblay's confession. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Because maybe we just give... It feels awful. Maybe we give up on Sister Agnes. We do still have that memo to take to her, but if we got a full scene with the memo in our inventory and couldn't take it to her, maybe that's just not a thing we can do now. I do want to see Bellini tomorrow. I want to see Pope Innocent. Okay, let's focus on Bellini, Pope Innocent, and Tremblay, just because we can get the full hearts with them tomorrow. Still closest with Cardinal Bellini. You've really worked magic on Bishop Tremblay. His earnestness is wonderful to behold, and it's all because you went out of your way for him. I mean, I still don't hold any fondness for him, but don't be mean, Ray. No, Ray, be mean. I support you. I want you to be mean more, all the time. I'm only saying everyone needs a project car. Insane thing to say. Obsessed with him. I'm serious. Joe really needed me. I'm beyond honored that I could be that person for him. Ray rolls his eyes fondly, then continues. I know it isn't my place to say, but the hallways have eyes. Oh no! People saw! People saw! People saw us being gay. People saw us being gay. I should expect you to know this by now. Excuse me? Thomas, you and Aldo must be more careful. I find it hard to believe you haven't learned this in all your time together. Thomas swallows hard. Did people... Someone saw. And now all the Curia has heard about it? Oh my god, everyone has heard about it? Everyone? Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. That's scary. Oh no. We're gonna get hate crimed. We're gonna get hate crimed on All Saints Day. Thomas takes a breath and steadies himself. It's no matter. People may make whatever assumptions about our relationship they so choose. Are those assumptions correct? Ray. I'll drop it. Oh yes, one last thing. Cardinal Tedesco, Bishop Tremblay, and Cardinal Bellini will all be likely too preoccupied to talk for the rest of the week. No! There goes my plans! Cardinal Bellini... Yeah, you're right, right? Tedesco definitely spread the rumors. However, if you... I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna... Do you see that? Do you see that in the corner? That is the purple of a bishop. I think. Hold on. We double check that. A purple Catholic priest. Bishop? Yeah, bishops. So if it was a bishop, it's either... No, we can clearly see that that man is white. Tremblay? Would it be? The only two... Maybe... I don't know, Wozniak? Those are the only two bishops, white bishops that I can imagine. I would have thought it would be Adeyemi because he's the one that's homophobic, but that's clearly a white man. Tremblay is jealous? Maybe. Maybe he is. Maybe he's jealous of us. He's jealous we got a thing going on. Okay. Let's continue. I can't believe he called Tremblay a project car. That's so funny. One last thing. Everyone will be too busy. Cardinal Bellini has a speech to finish. Tremblay has a mountain of work to translate. And of course, Cardinal Tedesco is off doing whatever it is he's doing. That's about it for now. That's all very informative. Okay. Let us... Oh no. It's incredibly late, around 2 a.m., when a knock sounds at Dean Lawrence's door. Oh no, what's happening? Kettle, oh my god. He rises, turns on his bedside light, and answers it. To his delighted surprise, Cardinal Bellini stands on the other side of it. He pushes his way into the apartment and closes the door. Hold on, what's happening? To say the man looks stressed would be an understatement. He looks positively frazzled. He was wearing a soft gray sweater that Lawrence could have sworn he was the one he had gifted him for his birthday several years back. It's very late, Aldo. What is it you need from me? I've been debating coming here for hours now. I knew it was too late to see you, but I felt I had to tonight. Oh, Thomas. I have no clue what to do. I need your guidance now more than ever. Please take my confession. Always, Aldo. Let me grab my robe and we can head downstairs to the booth. Hold on. The walk is short, but it feels like forever. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 2 days since my last confession. Damn, you guys are grinding it out there. Like, you're grinding this Catholicism thing. 2 days since your last confession is crazy. Do not fumble this. I'm trying, okay? If I fumble this, then I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll never forgive myself. 2 days. Who on earth did you confess to? It wasn't to me. You always confess to me. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's cheating on him. He's as angry as if Bellini cheated on him because he confessed to someone else. Don't be too jealous, Tomas. It was 2 months in your Why would you confess to O'Malley? He's the No offense to our beloved Ray, my favorite character. But why would you confess to O'Malley? He's clearly the shadiest bitch among everyone. Wait, this is funny. It was about you, so it thought it best not to involve you. No wonder Ray has been like, are the assumptions correct? Oh. Forgive me. What must you confess, my child? Oh. Oh, Tomas. I feel this terrible greed within me. I have these starving, desperate desires for things I know I cannot have. This is literally the greed they talk about in the Bible. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so Catholic, by the way. This is so insanely Catholic, it's almost funny. Did I say almost? No, it's hilarious. This is so funny. What is more Catholic than being so ashamed of wanting something that you go to confession for it? Like, I get that it's because he's like a priest and it's gay thoughts, but like, still. What is more Catholic than that? I never said I wanted the papacy. Are you really just talking about the papacy? Am I getting queerbaited? I'm not getting queerbaited. That's a joke. That's a joke. I said I never wanted the papacy with such conviction because I had hoped saying it enough would make me believe it myself. And it never did. That ambition, that drive. I know it's terrible to sin. I know it's a terrible sin to feel as strongly as I do. And no matter how much I try to contain it or command it, the desire never goes away. It isn't just to pay Pasita, Mas. It's many other awful hedonistic things. Power, any form of it, influence, connection. He pauses and exhales a shaky breath. Love. He said love. He said love. I'm terrified of how badly I want these things. I'm unable to make it submit. And what scares me even more is how afraid I am to ever receive them. Ever since the conclave, it's all I can think about. The past week with you, it's made me realize now, more than ever, how weak I am to falling for these forbidden vices, and how badly I think I want to take that first leap. I have no clue what to do. I have no clue. Oh my god, I know what I'm gonna pick. I know what I'm gonna pick. I might pick both and see both options, but I do want... We gotta encourage him. We can't not reassure him. Because clearly, Lawrence very clearly feels something, you know? It's literally a confession scene in multiple ways. Desire is human, Aldo. It is, most likely, the most human affliction there is. You are not uniquely sinful for desiring. If anything, your shame only brings you more harm than good. The Lord himself lived as one of us and knows this as truth. So, you did not deserve to beat yourself up so badly over that which falls out of your control. But dear Aldo, I do think you need to work on your bravery. I think you must learn to speak your mind, genuinely and truly, for whatever it may be, and stop trying to make yourself different or more palatable for the people around you. The real sin here is lying to be something you are not. This must be your atonement. You are my greatest friend, as you are. I would not have spent over 20 years of my life with you if you were not anything short of spectacular. Please remember that. I'll try my best, but I will need help. And I will always be here. I absolve you. Yes! Priest Yaoi! Hold on. They duck out of the confession booth, and Bellini wraps him in a tight hug that they haven't done since their early days at the Vatican. It's short and comforting all the same. Good night, Tomas. Good night, Aldo. They part ways. Never finally, of course, for they will always return to one another. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate. I kind of needed that. Okay, we're gonna go back, and we're gonna go pick the other one, because I want to know what this says. I have no idea. Something being forbidden does not always have to mean it must remain unspoken. Sometimes, if we choose to be vocal in our fears, we may find that others share those very same ones. Wouldn't that make it all the more difficult to know someone else feels so similarly to you and know there is nothing to be done about it? Perhaps. Or perhaps it would make the passing of time more enjoyable to know that no matter what, you aren't alone in it. Is that what you want, Tomas? I want what you want. If you don't want to talk— This is more yaoi! Wait. This route is a little more yaoi. Hold on. I want what you want. If you don't want to talk about it, we won't. You deserve to need things, and you deserve to have them met if you'd like them to. But I can't offer more than I'm able to give, and you can't either, regardless of needs and desires. I know, and I want to be brave. I really, I do. I'm tired of how we've been handling it. So let's change. Is it really so easy? It can be. Let's take the rest of this back upstairs. Alright. Okay. Hold on. Oh my god. Let's take the rest of this back upstairs. It's cold, and I haven't had that fancy tea you ship in from London in a while. As you wish. They exit the confessional booth, and Lawrence extends a hand that Bellini takes instantly. Continue the scene, continue the scene. I'm begging you. Okay, they talk about it for hours. Bellini on the sofa, Lawrence in his chair. It's emotional and nostalgic, and everything they have needed to hear. Of assurances and compliments, and heartfelt confessions just out of the reach of God. There is no Segex, okay? Not in this room. Not under the holy light of the Father, alright? They are holy men. They're not gonna do that. They will, however, do something just as intimate, which is talk to each other. But Bellini still leaves before sunrise! But Bellini still leaves before sunrise. He still does nothing more than offer a polite touch while leaving. The rules may have changed, which makes the game much easier on the players, who will play it better and with more gusto than they have ever before. Even still, there will be no winner. It will remain this way until one of them is no longer able to play. What the fuck? He sent us a note! Do you have texts? No, it's still that BuzzFeed quiz. Okay. Hi, Chris. I'm sorry that you're here. As I'm about to read the gospel. You came in for Priest Yaoi and the gospel. The gospel according to Luke, chapter 13, verse 31 to 35. Let's read this gospel and connect it to the gay ass shit that happened the night before. The same day, there came some of the Pharisees, saying to him, "Depart and get thee hence, for Herod hath a mind to kill thee." And he said to them, "Go and tell that fox, behold, I cast out devils and do cures today and tomorrow, and the third day I am consummated. Nevertheless, I must walk today and tomorrow and the day following, because it cannot be that a prophet perish out of Jerusalem. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, that killest of prophets, stonest them that are sent to thee. How often would I have gathered thy children as the bird doth her brood under her wings, and thou wouldest not. Behold, your house shall be left to you desolate. And I say to you, that you shall not see me till the time come, when you say, Blessed is he cometh in the name of the Lord." Okay. I don't know how many popes have been fucked yet. I would say 0, because there's only one pope and we have not, what would I say is this game's equivalent of, Yaoi. She be Luke on my gospel till I cometh. Yep, correct. We're gonna read a note from the guy we had gay moments with all of yesterday. I can't believe this motherfucker typed this out. He typed out our name with, like, "I am so grateful for your help during this tumultuous week, and for taking my confession. I do not think I would have been able to write the angelus address that Pope Innocent had decided he liked so much without your help. And as always, I appreciate our time spent in the library together." That's That's the gay shit. That's the gay shit. Holy Father, let us be gay today and tomorrow. Amen. No texts. Alright. Start day 7. Okay. We have limited choices today. We have limited choices. It's the last day. Everyone else is too busy for us, apparently. So let's go see Sister Agnes first. Maybe we'll finally be able to give her this. What is this? Oh, PR packet. It's thick. Thanks, gang. Maybe we'll finally be able to give her this message about bringing back desserts to Casa Santa Maria. It is morning, and Dean Lawrence walks hurriedly to St. Peter's Square, desperately trying not to be late for his meetings with Sister Agnes and the convent on their outing to Rome. Agnes has invited him to join them in passing out jackets and blankets to a small women's shelter just outside the walls of Vatican City. Apparently, this is one of Sister Agnes's favorite annual traditions. 2 weeks ago, the nuns had done a clothing drive at all the local churches within the Roman diocese, and as Archbishop, Lawrence was always delighted to host it. He has never been invited to the actual donation day until this year. He doesn't want to make a bad impression. He cannot, under any circumstances, be late. The clock chimes 8 as he arrives at the large group of nuns, all carrying cardboard boxes full of clothing and blankets. Ah, good to see you, Dean Lawrence. And not 1 minute late. We're all excited for you to be joining us today. I'm very enthused myself. I always enjoy putting the fall clothing drive into the Roman diocese announcements. I will warn you that there are parts of the shelter you will not be permitted to enter. Please don't take it personally. I understand, sister. I'll be sure to keep a respectful distance. Sister Agnes nods, propping the box into the crook of her arm to open the side gate they will be leaving the Vatican by. This is the second time this option has come. Say nothing, feminism, or offer to carry her box. I think last time we didn't offer to carry it. This time we're here, we're supposed to be helping. Let's offer to carry her box. Would you like me to hold that for you, sister? That's very kind of you, Dean, but oh no! That was the wrong thing to say! We're going back. The walk is not far, in theory, but Roman traffic being as chaotic as it means that it takes several minutes at each crosswalk just to get anywhere. The sidewalk is crowded with locals and tourists alike. All stare at the holy procession that passes before them. Lawrence grows anxious that some of them might come by to say something. His fears are realized only 2 blocks away from the shelter. A man dressed like a perverted perfume salesman, shirt and pants 2 sizes too small, an unbuttoned collar, and a ridiculous gold chain walks up to them. There is something metallic and shiny in his back pocket that Lawrence can only assume is a stiletto. The man approaches Sister Judith as they wait for the signal to change. Hey, oh my god! Holy shit! The young nun freezes, looking terrified. No thank you, signore. You will not speak to a sister of charity this way, you spineless heathen. Apologize now to her and to God! The man stares back at Sister Agnes. She doesn't need my help. Sister Agnes certainly does not. The man seems to literally shrink into himself, his back curling slightly. It is obvious now the bravado is a front like all Italian men of this type. Lecherous until something bigger comes by to shove right back. Modern times make men like these dime a dozen. How shameful. I'm sorry, sisters. What does that mean? It means the asshole. I'm sorry, sisters. I'm sorry, God, says the asshole. The light turns green and they all begin to walk again towards their destination. Are you alright, Sister Judith? Not really, sister. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. You did nothing wrong. We can take a moment to rest if you need. Sister Judith nods in a small, fragile way. Sister Agnes wraps her in a tight embrace for a few moments before allowing her to retreat into the safety of her fellow nuns. Where has decency gone? I wonder this more and more. Ah, Tomas. Looking for decency in Rome is your first mistake. Well, luckily for me, I have you to protect me from such indecent men. Your chastity is your virtue, Thomas. Keep it sacred before God. I certainly wouldn't give it to a common gigolo. I'm stronger than that, I hope. Did he just admit that he's gay? Sister Agnes stifles a laugh. I'm feeling better now, sister. We can continue. Off we go then. The women's shelter is sterile but still inviting. They enter through the back door in a small room that looks like an office. Matron Viola. Good morning, sisters. Oh, and Eminence. Good morning to you as well. I hope all is well at the shelter today, Matron Viola. It has been steady, but there is an air of excitement and energy. The ladies know there are good things coming to them today. She divides the convent into groups of 6, each taking their boxes to a wing. Eminence and Sister Agnes, Lorenza, Celine, Gina, and Allison, why don't you go to the south wing upstairs? We have a couple families up there who would be delighted to see you. Agnes hangs back with Lawrence as the sisters excitedly run up the stairs and down the corridor. Lawrence's knees creak on the first step. Oh, ain't that the truth, brother? Youth is wasted on the young. So true, so true. Oh, I'm not so sure about that. There's a certain distinction in growing old. A respectability and tenacity to it. Is that what the kids are calling it these days? Oh, and I think we've established that the two of us would have no way of knowing that now, would we? First room? The first room is small and grey and has 15 small metal poster beds pushed into it. There are about 10 women, various ages, talking to one another. The other sisters have arrived a few moments before Lawrence and Agnes, and are already helping the first few women go through the boxes together to find something that'll fit. Good morning, ladies. We are very excited to be here with you today. Thank you for coming, sisters. Rome is starting to get chilly this time of year. We came here to help, so we're gonna help. Lawrence rifles to Sister Agnes's box and pulls out a few blankets that he passes out to the women on the other side of the room who are waiting for their turn to find the coat. Sister Agnes gives him a warm smile. Thank you for being considerate, Father. It gets quite drafty up here at night. Once the women have all picked out a jacket, the group moves on to the next room. How are you feeling, Tomas? I'm saddened by how many people are here, sister. That's understandable, but at least they're here and not outside. The room is almost identical to the previous, only instead there are 20 cots. There are 4 children in this room all playing together and a crying infant in the arms of an exhausted looking woman. All but the woman holding a child stand to form a line to try on coats. Good morning, ladies. A much better morning now that you are here. Offer to hold the child. Would you like me to hold her while you wait in line? Would you? Thank you so much, Father. I can't get her to settle down. Lawrence takes the weeping babe in his arms, gently rubbing her back, and humming hymnals until she finally calms and returns to sleep. Sister Agnes stares at him strangely across the room, and it makes Lawrence feel heavy. Luckily for him, Maud returns to take her baby before he can examine the feeling too closely. They leave once all the women in this room have been given jackets. That child couldn't have been older than 7 weeks, Agnes. This may sound terrible, Tomas, but it's easier for younger children to be here. Older children oftentimes have difficulty understanding. Babies don't ever know what's going on. Hopefully she'll never have any memories of this place. We can pray. Last room. This room is the smallest, with only 10 cots in it, and half of them sit empty. There are 5 girls, all between the ages of 14 and 18, talking to one another in hushed, excited tones. The eldest carries a sleeping toddler on her hip. They shout at the sight of Sister Agnes and her group. Sisters! You really came! Kettle, these names are starting to stress me out. Did I really pick a bunch of Italian names for my D&D characters? For context, my first D&D character was named Viola. And her girlfriend is named Liliana. Not quite spelled this way, there's an extra L in there in the middle. But, did I really pick Italian names? I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. We would not miss you ladies for anything. Come, find something fashionable and warm, plenty of coats and jackets left. Hold up the coats. Lawrence reaches into the box and pulls out a sturdy red wool peacoat. Oh, that's cute. Why don't you try on this one? You look just like Joan Crawford. How old are you, father? Well then, my apologies. Please tell me the name of a more suitable movie star. Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie? She played Barbie. They made a Barbie doll movie? Oh, Father Lawrence. Liliana laughs again, then twirls in the red peacoat. It hangs slightly loose around her, a little large. Just like Barbie. Well done. Once the boxes are finally empty, the group ventures back down the stairs. Oh, Father Lawrence, you're adorable. I would love, like, just extra scenes of us just explaining to him, one by one, the oddest movie premises of all time. Agnes remains close to Lawrence while the rest of the sisters giggle and joke amongst themselves. You haven't had much conversation with your nuns. I hope I'm not stealing you away from them. Sister Agnes looks like a deer in headlights. She freezes suddenly. If I may be honest with you, Tomas, it's because you're one of my closest friends. Really? You're right. When did the Barbie movie come out? It came out in 2023. So this is set in 2019. Thank you for following Amazon Artemis. Let's not chastise a small team of devs for wanting to make a joke about the Barbie movie, even though the game is set in 2019. I'm just one of those weirdos that likes to pay attention to the dates because it tells us how they feel about how the piece of media is gonna handle COVID. We've seen today the level of personability I have with my sisters. Hello, hello. You're from Deadland. Hey, hello. Everyone on Deadland is very, very supportive. Thank you for the support. Everyone over there is really nice. I've seen today the level of personability I have with my sisters. You've seen today. I am motherly and well respected, but if there isn't curia gossip or job duties to discuss, I find they rarely come talk to me at all. Two-way street. I don't want to call her Aggie. Have you ever gone out of your way to talk to them? Again, Agnes Stills called her out. I suppose I haven't. Well, then how are they to know what to talk to you about? Hardly their fault at all, is it? I keep saying that maybe maybe the Curia needs board game nights. Sister Agnes needs to go and pick out, I don't know what board game would fit a bunch of nuns. Maybe not Monopoly. Maybe pick out a Scrabble or something, pull it out, play it with your nuns in your off time. I'm sure you guys could benefit from the little team building. Maybe you guys can watch, I don't know, The Sound of Music, Sister Act, or something to bond. You know, you guys need to be you guys need to be cultivating these friendships and relationships outside of your work with the church so that you can understand yourselves better. As devoted you are to your vocation, this is still a work-life balance thing, you know? Perhaps you should try starting a conversation every now and again. You can do that. You vex me, Thomas Lawrence. That's wonderful to hear, Agnes. Agnes. What's your last name? Agnes beckons him close with a salacious finger and a twinkle in her eye. He obeys immediately. I hate this. She pushes her lips close to her ear and whispers, "Guess." Damn, girl. Okay. Thomas feels his cheeks heat to an embarrassing degree. His blush only strengthens the hunger. The what? What? Okay, Kettle. For the record, I'm stereotyping them with these. I just mentioned nun movies, okay? I don't know what other movies nuns would be allowed to watch within the walls of Vatican City, alright? I don't like the words hunger in Agnes's gaze. She does not step back. Rossellini? Flattery will get you nowhere with me, but I love that you keep trying. I could get used to being compared to movie stars. Anyway, Tomas, off we go. We can't stray too far behind now, can we? Agnes immediately turns and begins to walk to the exit of the shelter, soon catching up with the other nuns. Is this what the kids call flirting? Technically, maybe. They're old. Maybe this is what the boomers call flirting. Lawrence stands behind, staring after her dumbly, willing his body to calm. Christ almighty. Sorry, Lord. You should be saying sorry to Bellini. As Lawrence catches up, he finds that Sister Agnes has already begun to joke with Sister Judith and Sister Gina about one of the napping babies they had seen during their handouts. The other sisters seem delighted that Agnes is talking to them so casually. It suits her. When they arrive back at the Vatican, it is time for them to part ways. Please take care, Sister Judith. The rest of the nuns give him a cheery goodbye and waves as they walk back to the convent. Agnes lingers for a few moments later. Thank you for today, Tomas. I eagerly await next year's clothing drive. Is that the next time I will get to see you? Of course not. If you're good, at least. Girl. I'll be on my best behavior just for you. Sister Agnes laughs. Have a good rest of your day, Tomas. You too, Agnes. I look forward to seeing you again. He watches as she walks away. She turns back once to give him a little wave. He's going to be in trouble, no doubt about that. What a remarkable woman. Alright. Okay. Let's see Adayami first, and then have our nightly meeting with Pope Innocent the 14th. Hold on, pause. I'm going to blow my nose. Okay. Nose blown. The afternoon finds Dean Lawrence and Pope Innocent walking to the Casa Santa Marta with smiles on their faces. I thought I picked Adayami. No, I did. Sister Agnes needed a few extra hands to assist in the baking for All Saints' Day, and Pope Innocent is all too eager to fill the brief gap in his schedule by helping out in the kitchens. It's been so long since I've had any Aussie de Morty cookies, Thomas. Lawrence, as always, find the Pope's excitement and gusto for life uplifting. The younger man's joy eases up a lightness within him he has not felt in years. I'm certain Sister Agnes will let you be the first official taste tester when we're all done. She most certainly had better. I'm the Pope. It's my job to oversee the ins and outs of what happens within the Vatican. I don't think anyone would ever be able to deny you, Your Holiness. Pope Innocent gives him a warm smile and the two men share a laugh. As they approach, they see Bishop Adeyemi taking a stroll across the Vatican gardens. Good afternoon, Your Holiness, Your Eminence. A most wonderful afternoon it is, Bishop Adeyemi. We're on our way to the Casa Santa Marta to help with the convent bake. Would you care to join us, Joshua? Pope Innocent looks curiously at Lawrence, a knowing smile flashing across his face. Adeyemi looks between them, hesitant. Oh, I'm not sure. I am not much for doing women's work. Okay, there it goes. Boo. Okay, let's take a step back. No. We're not supposed to let him handle it, right? He's not supposed to do that as Pope. So, yes, one, we should be the one to go on the attack because we're not supposed to be letting the Pope do the attacking or the self-defense. Oh, Joshua, I thought you listened when we talked about this. Well, no matter. Please, come with us to do women's work. Forgive me, Your Eminence. Old habits. I promise I really am trying to be better. Of course, I'll come help where I can. And for that, we're giving you the mixing task. And you're not allowed to use a mixer. An electric mixer. Right? We're giving you a bowl of ingredients and you're going to be mixing things with your hands. They enter the Casa Santa Marta and are greeted by Sister Agnes, who leads them back into the kitchens. Perfect timing. I am so very grateful that you can help out once again. And you even brought along an extra helper. She gives Adeyemi a stern, but not disapproving look. It seems the apology was well received. There are about 15 nuns working diligently at different stations. Could you help your Sister Louisa need, Your Holiness? Of course, Sister. Pope Innocent walks over to the back where several baskets and aprons are placed haphazardly upon a table. He removes his pure white cassock and zucchetto, rolling up the sleeves on the gray knit sweater he's wearing underneath. He washes his hands and goes directly into helping Sister Lucia knead, much to the delight of the others in the kitchen. I'm not gonna tease Adeyemi. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to teach America's Next Top Model how to not be a misogynist. If the Supreme Pontiff of the Universal Church can do it, I think you can too. I understand. Thank you, Tomas. Sister Agnes goes back to directing different nuns here and there. Lawrence looks around for something for him and Adeyemi to do. He spots an area off the side where dishes from the sink can be washed and dried. Come along, Joshua. We're washing dishes. He drags the shorter man over by the hand, then hands him a dry white rag. I'll wash, you dry. It is companionable for a few moments, the two of them working in their relative silence, while the sisters and Pope Innocent chat and joke amongst themselves. Adeyemi is close enough for Lawrence to smell his what? Hold on. Back away slowly. We're nipping this in the bud. No. Adeyemi is close enough for Lawrence to smell his intoxicating cologne over the fragrant vanilla of the baking. The pair of them seem in sync, cleaning in time with one another. What are these options? What are these options? If I had a partner, I'd want them to be like you. You smell so good, Joshua. Okay, you're never gonna catch me saying that to a Josh, alright? Um, we're picking the first one. I will have I will have no debate on this. I'm taking no suggestions. Don't quit your day job. Well, I'm very glad that Pope Innocent put you in charge of PR and not the kitchens. So that's how it is, Tomas. I'm not good enough to remain cardinal. I'm not good enough to gossip with. I'm not good enough to take seriously. I understand my past behavior is forgivable, but is it so difficult for you to even try? He stands, tossing his drying rag on the floor. Good day, Dean. I don't like you because you're homophobic and I'm gay as hell. But, you know what? More power to you, brother. Also, I like that. I think that takes into account everything you've said to him. I do remember him saying that. Pope Innocent gives him a disapproving glare from across the kitchen. This is hard for me. Because these two, that's just lying. Right? I wonder what the "you smell so good" option says. You always smell so nice, Joshua. It's my second favorite thing about spending time with you. Adeyemi dips his head in embarrassment. What's the first? He says this hoarsely, and Lawrence feels a blush rising along his cheeks. Your smile. Okay. That is a little gay as hell. The moment hangs heavy between them, then Sister Agnes drops another pot into the sink they stand beside. Oh! Well, sometimes lying is good. They work like that for 2 hours, washing dishes between stations. When the baking is complete, over 1,000 cookies have been prepared. Oh, I want cookies. I want cookies. I think the best I can do is like a protein bar or something. Oh, no, we have cake in the fridge. That's my post-stream snack. Okay, everyone begins to clean up. The fact that Lawrence and Adeyemi have been cleaning the entire time makes the final tidying go much faster. Okay, that's fine. I'm not mad at that. Mostly, I'm not mad at it because now we don't get disapproval from Pope Innocence or Sister Agnes. Thank you, boys, very much for coming in today. We couldn't have done it without you. Of course. Farewell, sisters. The three men leave, Adeyemi bowing to Pope Innocent in the Casa Santa Marta foyer. Thank you, Your Holiness, for allowing me a chance to better myself. I have every faith in you, Joshua. I am very proud of your progress. I had excellent guidance from our dean. Adeyemi's phone buzzes loudly in his pocket. He rolls his eyes and taps the screen lazily. Public relations. Off I must go. Excuse me? As he walks away, Pope Innocent places a gentle hand on Lawrence's back. He gives Lawrence a look that forms a pit in his stomach. How much of his interactions with Adeyemi had Innocent observed? Well done, my shepherd. I knew I could count on you to guide the lost sheep back home. Phew. Thank you, Your Holiness. I'm glad you did. Alright. Last one. And then the day. And then I think it's All Saints Day. Unfortunately, I need to run another ad. The time is flying by. Time really does fly by in situations like this. So I need to run another 3-minute ad. I also need to go to the bathroom because of all the Sprite I've been drinking. So I'll be back. I'll put this on the Be Right Back screen, and then we can have our last scene and hopefully finish up, get our ending. I don't know if there are endings. I imagine there are endings. And hopefully finish up. Thank you for the posture check. I'm gonna go stretch as well. Alright. So, Be Right Back screen, and we will be right back in 3 minutes. Okay, I think we're back. We may be back. Okay, hold on. All right, all right. So there's a ticking clock. I'm sorry about that. I'm realizing that we have not gotten any of Pope Innocent's uh let's save. Let's save. We haven't gotten any of his splash arts. So hopefully we get one for here. At least one. You know, I don't mind not getting the rest. Thank you, Amazon Artemist. I am having a great stream. It's evening, and Lawrence is on his way to his scheduled meeting with Pope Innocent. He's arriving a little ahead of time even, and he's vaguely proud of himself for it. He's about to knock on the door when it abruptly opens. Lawrence steps out of the way just in time to avoid being struck by the door. Oh, Your Eminence, I'm sorry. No harm done. If Lawrence's nose had been broken, it would have given him a good excuse to rest, he thinks. He won't say so to Monsignor O'Malley, though. Oh my god. That reminds me of, like, people in college that are like, if I get hit by a car, I won't have to take my exams. This poor guy is overworked. Especially since Lawrence knows full well he'd keep working through a broken nose, and O'Malley would remind him of this. What brings you here? As per Pope Innocent's request, I was sharing what I dug from various unsavory corners of the internet. Ah yes. How unsavory did it end up being, exactly? All social media sites are unsavory. He's right. Anyway, I made a bulleted list of topics that seemed to be garnering the most attention, and we discussed it. Monsignor O'Malley has always liked his bulleted lists. Hey, no shade. We love a bulleted list around here. Once or twice, Lawrence has gotten into his head that he could try to make his own in a word processor. Usually outlines future homilies. He always seemed to click the wrong button and mess up everything past the point of recognition. If O'Malley happened to be nearby, he could be counted on to fix Lawrence's mess. Do you think it helped him? It's probably Lawrence's imagination, but O'Malley seems to hesitate when he responds. Yes, he did ask to have a meeting like this every week. Lawrence lowers his voice the way that he so often does with Ray, even when they aren't discussing anything that secretive. O'Malley responds in kind. Ray? You know our Holy Father by now. When he's particularly angry or happy, he makes it known. Anything milder than that and he keeps perfectly calm. But you suspect he took issue with what was being said online? Maybe. He might have been angry with the quality of my work too. Or maybe he truly thought it was helpful. I can't know for sure. O'Malley is usually as good at reading people as he is with computers. Dealing with someone as composed as Pope Innocent must be a challenge for O'Malley. Lawrence is usually a little surprised he didn't see this coming. I don't think he would ask to meet with you again if he disliked the quality of your work. I would love a Hidden Ray route, because he is my fave. However, I don't really ship him with Lawrence. So I think this is fine. I think this funny friendship, where he's the technological, gossipy, researchy one, is perfect. Monsignor O'Malley gives a heavy sigh. Good point. I take it you're next on his schedule? I am. I won't keep you. Have a good evening, Your Eminence. You as well. Lawrence enters Pope Innocent's office, a little wary of the man might have overheard that conversation. His desk is far away from the door, though, and he has been listening to music. Hello again, Your Eminence. Likewise, Your Holiness. I need to know what music. Like, right now. Tell me. Tell me. He certainly seems calm as the two of them discuss the items on their agenda. As O'Malley has just pointed out, the serenity could mean anything or nothing. That's so stressful. Lawrence decides to learn a little more, if only to set O'Malley's mind at ease. Before I go, I have one final question. Of course, speak your mind. How did you feel about that report? O'Malley did a thorough job, as usual. Press him, press him. Did hearing his report help you? It did. It helped me to get some numbers and context for the most frequently expressed negative comments. What was the most common negative opinion? This week? Apparently our decorations for All Saints are unacceptably sparse. I thought the spectacle would be... We may have underestimated how much people want a spectacle. I think the Vatican is already looking wonderful, and the work is only partially complete. We may surprise the naysayers yet. Exactly. For now, I'm willing to bear the brunt of any premature disappointment. If I may, I'm sorry that you have to be a figurehead for their disappointment right away. No need. I expected it when I accepted this role. Pope Innocent looks lost in thought for a short moment. I want to know. Now it appears you have more on your mind, Your Holiness. Tell me, did our late Holy Father ever struggle with undue praise? That's hard to say. Go on, please. At the end, well, he was so isolated I don't think he even heard it when people praised him. I see. I would remind him over and over of all the good he's done in the world, and he'd be quick to point out all the ways he'd been called a disappointment. Some factions of Curia truly are vicious when we should be cooperating instead. I think he was more upset that he'd let down all the people who are suffering. Hold on, I'm trying to read that, Tomas. He always felt he'd never done enough. When others accused him of that, it always touched a nerve. Grief really was an unpredictable thing. Most days now he remembers the Holy Father with fondness, and even a sense of peace. Right now, though, he can feel his eyes stinging. He won't let any tears fall. Oh, Tomas. I'm fine. Or at least I will be. I'm sure you reminded him that he was just one man, and I'm sure that was a source of comfort to him. Anger could also appear outside grief. He had been rather good at reminding the Holy Father of all the good he's done. Sometimes Lawrence wonders that if that was a true reason he hadn't been allowed to retire. If so, what high praise. What a burden. Lawrence enjoys his friendship with Pope Innocent. He doesn't want to develop the same sort of relationship with him. Anyway, why have you asked about praise? After Monsignor O'Malley got through the substantial parts of his report, he shared a popular image with me. That is to say, a popular image of me. What was it? One of our turtles got loose yesterday. I took it back to the pond and a paparazzi took a picture of me doing that. Apparently a significant number of people think I'm cute for doing that. I mean, you are. You are. Oh my god, the world's cutest pope. Maybe more people will check out your homily after that. Well, we did just talk about how we'll make sure that it is a memorable All Saints. This is one way to do it. I just worry people will pay attention to me and forget about the saints. Did something in particular about the paparazzi photo make you worry about this? Apparently the most common response to that photo was, make that man a saint already. Even though it's good work that anyone can do. I see. Some people speak about me as though I set a standard that's impossible to reach. In some ways, they may be right. I couldn't have lived my life the way you have. I think if our late Holy Father assigned you to one of my dioceses, you would do exactly what I did. You would know to clothe the naked, feed the hungry, provide medicine to the sick. All my actions were just those of someone who has been paying attention. You're always paying attention. Lawrence is both deeply and unexpectedly moved. That's one of the best compliments I've ever received. Aww. I think we only believe the compliments that we think have some grain of truth to them. You know this isn't the work of saints. You know I'm not a saint yet. Yet. I've heard that there are already talks about attempting to declare the late Holy Father a saint. I know that's unlikely to happen with me since, well, yes. There will be certain revelations when I'm embalmed. It sounds like something you wouldn't want. Not at all. This vocation is already lonely. I might be even more lonely if I'm transformed posthumously into a saint. It's Pope Innocent's turn to look a little teary-eyed, even if just for a moment. If this were anyone else, if he didn't have that expression, Lawrence might be tempted to tease him for delusions of grandeur. Now, though, he once more spontaneously reaches for the Holy Father's hands. Pope Innocent squeezes back hard. In the event that I outlive you, I'll make your wishes on this matter known, Your Holiness. Thank you, just... thank you. However, I would also urge you to allow yourself some grace in the face of these fears. I suspect you aren't letting yourself examine your own thoughts until you become overwhelmed. Remember your own humanity. There's a reason God in His infinite wisdom made a human Christ representative on earth. If He had wanted an all-powerful angel, that's what He would have sent us. Pope Innocence listened to Lawrence with rapt attention. He appears to mull over Lawrence's advice for a long while, and then requests that they pray together. They continue to hold hands as they do so. Oh my god. When they're done, Pope Innocent has that peaceful look he always gets when he manages to find the time to pray. I love holding hands. I love holding people's hands. It's great. It's great. Thank you, Tomas. I will not take up any more of your time. You've eased my burden. Aww. I'm glad to hear that. He genuflects at Pope Innocent and then departs from the room. Is he okay? I feel like at some point of age, genuflecting becomes pretty hard. His knees creaked when he went up those stairs at the women's shelter. Can you imagine him genuflecting and then having to get back up? Are there any priests who have tried to genuflect and then just fallen over? I feel like at some age I just wouldn't be able to do it. Alright. Let's go on. He feels a bit hollowed out. the way he gets whenever he lets himself cry for a long time. It's not a bad feeling, though. Not in the slightest. It feels like catharsis. He hopes, and somehow knows, that Pope Innocent feels the same way. Alright. Hello, Ray. What's up? How was your day? Excellent and most productive. You're making good progress. Alright. How is our flock feeling about our shepherd? Damn! We got so close! Damn! Oh man! This is kind of sad. We got so close, yet so far. I guess I just don't know how to please Tedesco, huh? Maybe I'm too forceful. Maybe he doesn't like it that I'm too forceful. You think he'd like it if someone pushed back on him. I don't know. This hurts to look at. I would like to take a screen cap of this just because it hurts to look at. Right. Rop. Alright. Proceed. We're closest with Pope Innocent. I'm very glad to hear you put in the work to get him to trust you so much. Oh, I also see you got close with Sister Agnes and Bishop Adeyemi. All it takes is a Excuse me? Excuse me? Ray! Ray, how do you know about that? Ray! Ray, what the fuck? This man is out of pocket! This man! What are you... Where did he find out about this? All it takes is a crook of a finger to make you a good little boy, does it, Dean Lawrence? This man is your superior! Perhaps Sister Agnes really is magic. Look at Lawrence's face. He's like, what the fuck? How did you find out about this? Thomas sputters and turns a bright red. Where on God's sacred earth did you hear that from? Don't you remember, Dean? The sisters have eyes and ears. Well, whatever you're saying, it wasn't like that. Oh, but it was like something? Please move on, Ray. Of course, of course. Oh my god. Does Bishop Adeyemi's cologne really smell as nice as you've said? The nuns have been telling everyone about your compliments to him today. I have to pick up a bottle. How could anyone have possibly heard that? Kitchen's echo, especially when two people think they're alone. Well, we'll have to ask Joshua yourself. I haven't the slightest idea. Of course. What is it, Your Eminence? I didn't know we were meeting now. We're not. I just wanted to let you know that the Holy Father was not at all upset at the quality of your work. That's good to know. Also, you're better than the rest of the Curia combined. You'll learn our Pope's ways eventually. Ray is so messy. He is so insanely messy. I'm obsessed with him. One can only hope. I should observe you closely when you interact with him. I saw him soon after your meeting with him today, and he looked so much happier. Oh yes, one last thing. Sister Agnes, Bishop Adeyemi, and Pope Innocence will all be likely too preoccupied to talk the rest of the week. Full with the recent media storm, and I'd be shocked if the Holy Father has a single moment to spare from here on out. And I'm sure Sister Agnes and her nuns will have plenty of work to finish up. That's about it for now. That's all very informative, Ray. Thank you. Looks like we got everyone's scenes! The alternating thing did work. I wanted to speak with you briefly about something less fun. What is it, Ray? I've been speaking with the captain of the Swiss Guard. Apparently a few of them are feeling anxious that something is going to happen Sunday. Oh no. Have there been any recent attacks? To our knowledge, no. But between the direct attacks on the Vatican last week and the surge in general anti-Catholic activity this week. I understand, Ray. Is there anything we can do? I don't think so, other than cancel the event entirely, which isn't an option. Pope Innocent has agreed to take the extra security measures. Full searches will be done on everyone who attends tomorrow in person. How terrible of a day of grief must be watered down so. Still, we must persevere. The safety of everyone depends on it. Agreed. I'll let you rest for the evening. Good night, Ray. Good night, Tomas. The last time we would need to do this for a while. A knock at the door wakes Lawrence up. He glances at his bedside clock. 4:30 a.m. He rises out of bed and turns up the lights. He's still half asleep and has the feeling, that has him feeling unexpectedly calm. He instantly becomes becomes wide awake the moment he sees Pope Innocent on the outside of the door. I'm so sorry. What happened? Oh, have I made you think there's an emergency? If so, I'm doubly sorry. Why else would you be here? That's a reasonable request. Can you take my confession? At 4:30 in the morning, you crazy bastard? Lawrence stares in surprise. Pope Innocent has a regular confessor, and it isn't Lawrence. As a rule, Lawrence tries not to take the confessions of his superiors. Lately, he hasn't thought about this boundary much because for years he's been outranked by only the Pope. But he is hardly in a position to deny the man before him. Yes, please step inside. Could it be in one of the regular confessionals downstairs? I find myself wanting that sort of normalcy. Of course. Pope Innocent nods and immediately leaves. Yes, okay, I think you only get the confession scenes when you get the full hearts with a character. And that's why I was like annoyed that we didn't get the full hearts with the others. So we're not gonna get a scene with them. But it's fine. I think it's because we only have one more day. We can't get any of the other scenes anyway. Lawrence closes the door behind him and finds himself praying before putting his clothes on. He keeps praying as he dresses. When he finally arrives at the correct confessional, he has suspicions that Pope Innocent has been praying as well. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 3 days since my last confession. Not that long ago, at all. What could Pope Innocent, of all people, have done so in so short an amount of time that requires an urgent confession? What must you confess, my child? I believe I have committed a mortal sin. Which mortal sin? What do you think so? The sin of perjury, Your Eminence. How could you think you have perjured yourself? At the conclusion of the conclave, you asked me if I accepted my election to the role of Supreme Pontiff. I said yes at the time. I almost wanted to say no. I had doubts in my heart too. I've had doubts ever since then. I often fantasize about saying no to you. It's normal for someone to feel trepidation about taking on such a daunting responsibility, my child. Yes, but how much trepidation can one have before it becomes a lie? How long can I believe myself incapable of being Pope before it becomes a lie? I have prayed to God on this matter, and he remains silent. Perhaps he thinks you should be asking different questions on the matter. What do you mean? Not everyone is meant to be Pope. Most people are not. For some, though, that unworthiness stems from greed or a lust for power. I don't see those sins in you. What have you identified in your nature that leads you to believe yourself incapable of being Pope? My anger. Anger? Yes, anger. Anger with God. An overly long silence. Lawrence suspects Pope Innocent. No, he's Vincent in this moment. Might be crying on the other side of the grill. In your work, You've witnessed some of the same horrors that Job suffered through. Even he felt angered at God. I don't lose sleep over the anger I feel at injustice. Maybe I should. That is a form of arrogance. But no, I am accustomed to dealing with suffering in the world. Our Lord granted me the ability to safely safely store my distress until a later date, I suppose. I dealt with it after I had tended to the vulnerable. Oh my god, he has the power of repression. It wasn't an easy life, but I was good at it. I was really, really good at putting everything I had into the service of the people who needed it the most. For many decades, I never once slowed down. And unlike many priests, I was able to see the fruits of my labor firsthand. I felt like I was in communion with God and could see my path clearly. Then I got appendicitis and, you know, the results of that. I waited long enough to go to the hospital that I had a longer recovery time than others who go through that. This meant I was able to lie around, contemplating what I had just learned about myself. I couldn't hear God's voice much in those days. That must have been difficult. It was. But when I was sufficiently recovered, I just went back to work. And I didn't allow myself to think about my medical condition. Someone always needed me. I put off thoughts on that for a long time too. Even though I wanted to self-reflect on this discovery, I felt isolated from myself. I went to the late Holy Father and asked to resign. I believed my ministry to have been conducted in a state of sin, but I also felt detached from myself so completely that I worried the quality of my work would decline. He, of course, received my concerns and spoke with me in such a way that I felt faith in myself again. Judging by our conversation in the room of tears, you found your way back from that darkness. Yes, or so I thought. You've seen how I live my life now. This week we've only met in my office. I know that the Pope's work is important too, but once again I find myself struggling as I stay still in one place. This time though, I don't just hear my own thoughts. I have to consider the thoughts of the entire world. I predicted all of this when I reached the 2/3 majority. I said yes, even though I knew it would eventually lead me to feel excessive anger at God and the men who elected me into this position. What else can that be but the mortal sin of perjury? I've accepted everything in my life so far, including what I learned about my body. Why am I now behaving like a prophet who's decided to run away from God's commands? Vincent. Oh, I don't have a choice. I mean, that's fine. You'll recall the exact wording to the question I asked you. I didn't ask if you were happy to be elected. No, you didn't. And did you say yes, knowing you intended to leave the role well before God could call you to do so? No, I would never have done that. Then all I hear is a man who accepted the role with the appropriate awareness of the responsibility it would entail. I hear someone who wants nothing more than to do justice to this role as Christ's representative on earth. The amount of fear I feel seems so great it must be a sin. Just now, you spoke of how often allowing yourself to feel fear only at the times you deemed appropriate. There's some benefit to that ability when you have worked in such dire circumstances. However, in my experience, those feelings don't just evaporate or wait around meekly for you to feel them. Now that it's safe to do so, you must be feeling years' worth of despair and grief. I may be incorrect, but I don't think I am. No. No, you are not. If you've sinned because of this, I think it's only a venial sin. There is no one that could possibly be able to answer this question for me in chat. When priests confess to each other, do they actually identify things as mortal and venial sins? Because that's crazy to me. It's very human to feel sorrow or righteous anger. Sometimes it's an indulgence. but sometimes God speaks to us through these feelings. I know you see God in the service you render to others, but sometimes God speaks to us through our human emotions too. What would you advise? Pray for guidance from God daily. Ask him to help you see when he's speaking to you through your emotions, and when you're merely annoyed over something petty. And pray for God's help in eliminating the latter. Pray in help lessening it, maybe, but sometimes it's good to be reminded, but we are just men and not angels. So, pray to reconcile my calling with my own humanity. Yes. He gives Vincent a few additional penances to perform. Rather than additional prayers, he tasks him with doing more work in the kitchen with the sisters. I didn't know priests could give penance. I didn't know priests could give penance that was more than like Hail Marys. Maybe I just didn't confess properly, or the priests who took my confession as a kid just didn't want to give a child chores. Hi, Adora! Oh no, your internet died midstream! Oh, that's awful. That's so stressful. But yeah, sometimes it does feel like a sign, doesn't it? I hope... you're usually playing Marvel Rivals, so I hope you got at least some good games in there. Happy to have you here. Thank you for hanging out. I'm currently taking the Pope's confession. Diamond! Nice. I'm still scared of ranked. Maybe one day I'll try and rank up. Alright. Let's get back to taking our friend Vincent's confession. Lawrence thinks it will do him some good to take part in some needed tasks that aren't life or death. Thank you! I work a little too hard on the shorts, but they're so fun to make. I love making them. It's just so much footage. Thank you. I need my luck with the Pope. I messed up my other relationships. Not messed up, but I did not reach the max relationship that I wanted. Vincent can't pray during his work either, or run the risk of being distracted. It will be a good way for the new Pope to reconnect with his own thoughts in a gentle setting. I wouldn't call working in a kitchen with a bunch of nuns a gentle setting, but whatever you say, man. When they step out of the confessional, Lawrence is happy to see that Vincent looks relaxed, not just calm or composed. He looks like he's at rest for the first time this week. Well, you're not gonna feel at rest because it's 4 AM on the day of All Saints Day. So, you're about to be stressed as hell. I don't know why you decided to take confession at 4 in the morning when we have a big day ahead of us tomorrow. But, I support you. Thank you, Your Eminence. Tomas. I hope I helped lighten your burden. Yes, I voted for you based on the strength of your homily. It left me feeling at peace that week until the final day. I felt that way again just now. I'm delighted to hear that. They embrace for a little while, then go their separate ways. Once Lawrence is alone in his room, he decides to pray by his window. He even considers opening it up to let some fresh air in, but then he remembers that it's too cold. He settles for waiting for the sun to rise. A new day will be dawning, and they have a new pope. Oh no! This is it! Another note from Bellini. Okay. What is the gospel on All Saints Day? Ooh, it's not Luke anymore. We have transitioned over to Matthew. I feel like I didn't get much. Luke did not leave much of an impression on me in school. Matthew was always the cooler one. The gospel according to Saint Matthew. Oh, it's the Beatitudes. Hold on. I'm not gonna read out all the Beatitudes. If you are Catholic, you know what they are. I don't feel like reading the Beatitudes. But, you know, they're basically, blessed are the meek, for they shall possess the land. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God, blah blah blah. Basically, fuck the powerful. They don't get into heaven. Another note from Bellini. Dear Thomas, thank you. Thank you for responding to my previous letter so quickly. I enjoyed our lunch discussion immensely today. I suppose I'll resign this to you this one time in our spirited debate, but I'll leave you this. I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. As was said in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7. Oh, we can move them around. Okay. Okay. No newspaper today. That's fine. Let us start the day. Dean Lawrence stares Dean Lawrence stares at his choir gown wrapped in cellophane that hangs off the back of his apartment door. He is tired, exhausted, but he is fulfilled. They have, for better or for worse, completed the tasks for today's mass and ceremony. Actually, hold on. This is going to be dumb. Oh wait, no, I can't do that? Okay, never mind then. Save. All that remains is to attend it. Lawrence rises and puts on his robes. Oh, he changed clothes! All that's left is to go, I suppose. He exits his apartment and finds Monsignor O'Malley walking towards him at the end of the hall, no doubt coming to get him. I promise I wasn't gonna be late, Ray. I'm sure you weren't, Dean Lawrence. Are you ready? Still lots to get through today. Lawrence lets out a sigh and straightens his shoulders. Still lots to get through today. Onward, bestie. The pair take a short walk from the Vatican apartment buildings to the Casa Santa Maria, where most of the Curia is sitting around eating breakfast. Lawrence spots Bishops Adeyemi and Tremblay engaged in discussion by themselves at the table. He elbows Monsignor O'Malley, who gives him a pleading look not to. Lawrence is already halfway to the table. For someone. Seriously? Every single time. Next time you watch it, pay attention to her in the background. That's incredible. I can't believe I never noticed that before now. Adeyemi notices Lawrence first. Ah, an excellent morning, Dean Lawrence. Bright and early. Almost too bright and too early, but at least everything will be done by lunchtime. Tremblay gives him a mock scoff. For you. Adeyemi nods amusedly at this and gestures upward vaguely with his hand. For me. This is so shady. This is so shady. Lawrence, you little... Today is Pope Innocent's first address. I know I'm looking forward to seeing the faces of the people who will be watching him. Are either of you looking forward to any festivities today? You know what, Tomas? I actually am. I was very troubled during Pope Innocent's first appearance to the world. I wasn't able to give him my full focus. I will be able to today. Tremblay nods with a deep understanding. I feel similarly, however. I am actually looking forward to translating the Pope's meeting with a Belgian diplomat tonight. I have met him twice before, and he was a pleasant sort of fellow. What about you, Dean Lawrence? Yes, aside from people watching, what are you most excited for? Aww, I don't know. Lawrence thinks for a second, then shrugs plainly. I hadn't really thought about more about it than that. What a shame, Tomas. You've worked so hard this week. Adeyemi turned to Tremblay, conspiringly? I think it's because our friend here finds more enjoyment out of a hard day's work than from reaping the rewards. Aw. It's very kind of you to say, Joshua. Thank you. I'll leave you both to breakfast. Where's our boyfriend? He bows and returns to Monsignor O'Malley, who extends a polite hand to direct him to their next destination. It's surprisingly empty in the pathways and sidewalks of the Vatican. It's so peaceful. If Lawrence weren't already stressed half to death with the migraine coming on, he might enjoy it more. They walk from Casa Santa Maria to the interior of St. Peter's Basilica, where Sister Agnes is in the middle of directing Cardinal Tedesco on how to best arrange the massive altar. I'm telling you, this is in the middle. There's nowhere else to move it. Come over here and look with your eyes, Eminence. Sister, I do not wish to make you look foolish, so I will hold my tongue in telling you that I have told you so. Tedesco walks back from behind the altar and stands proudly beside Sister Agnes. As he looks over his handiwork, the confidence in his eyes quickly vanishes. The crucifix is off-center. Sister Agnes walks away from him wordlessly and approaches Monsignor O'Malley and Lawrence, who are standing only a few feet away. Your Eminence, Your Excellency. She gives a small curtsy. There! Thank you, Cardinal Tedesco. Your assistance has been most helpful. You see, Tommaso, I have been dealing with this all morning. Well, that was a rude thing to say. The sides of Sister Agnes's mouth quirk upward slightly. It looks great, everyone. Hooray! We just wanted to come say good morning to you all on such a fine Sunday. I'm glad everything is being handled. I suppose I had better get going on my own preparations now. Leave it up to us, Dean Lawrence. I know you are frightfully busy. Tell Innocentius not to mispronounce any Italian, okay? My mother is watching, and I don't wish for her to have a heart attack so early in the morning. Lawrence rolls his eyes and gives them each a bow, before he and Monsignor O'Malley walk up the steps to the secondary elevator to the St. Peter's Square balcony. Where's our boyfie? The staging room behind the balcony is busy as a fair. Bishops and other various curia members run to and fro with various items to get Pope Innocence ready within the hour. There's our boyfie. Pope Innocent himself is sitting down, a stressed-looking Cardinal Bellini only a few feet away from him, pacing slightly and erasing and rewriting on the paper in his hands. Ah, good morning, Dean Lawrence. I hope the Curia is in good spirits today. Much better than our friend Aldo here anyway. Pope Innocent gives him a humorous but worried look. Bellini waves a hand at both of them. The address is fine. I'm just making some minor adjustments based on some of the politics that happened last night and this morning. Politics? Nothing to worry about at all. We just had someone caught scaling the wall during the night? What the hell? They were taken by police and unfortunately someone caught it on camera, so people naturally wanted to know why someone was arrested at the Vatican on Halloween. Lawrence lets out a deep sigh. Of course. We're just trying not to start a second satanic panic if we can help it, with everything happening this week, as it has, and now this. We will address the situation in a separate press release as we always do, Aldo, but today is about the people. And Pope Innocent rises and gives Lawrence a proud smile. Benitez gently puts a hand on Bellini's shoulder, and he visibly calms. You wrote a perfect address already, Aldo. Please let me say that one instead. Bellini nods, a little resigned. Of course, you're both right. I'm sorry. I fear I let the needs of politics sweep me away again. You are only looking out for the resilience and safety of the Curia and the Holy See, and her relationship to the people of the Universal Church. You have nothing to apologize for at all. Lawrence and Bellini take a step back as a few of the attending bishops finish adjusting Pope Innocent in his full regalia. Benitez reaching up to adjust his zucchetto for himself when he is done. I suppose it's almost time. Thank you both very much for your assistance this week. I would scarcely have been able to do it without you. Neither could I, Tomas. This whole week has been made successful from your hands. I had lots of help, especially from you, Aldo. Bellini reaches across to place a hand softly on Lawrence's upper arm. Well, if we must both pretend to be modest, then I suppose I'll say we did it together. You guys did do it together. Pope Innocent looks between the two of them, his eyes lingering on where Bellini's hand is still perched a few moments ago. He raises an amused eyebrow at Bellini. Do you have a copy of the address? Oh, yes, of course, Your Holiness. Let me get it. Sorry, I dropped something. The look on Pope Innocent's face is almost teasing. Lawrence frantically looks away for fear too much had already been unsaid in his presence. Bellini hands him a copy of the typed out address. He gives a deep bow. Break a leg? Pope Innocent gives them both a smile and a nod before stepping out onto the balcony. His entourage of cardinals and bishops following behind him. The rising voices of thousands of people in St. Peter's Square cheering fill the air. Pope Innocent the 14th arrives on the balcony 10 minutes before the official start time for the Angelus address. This makes everyone fondly joke that their new pope was good enough to start the ceremonies early. The cheering lasts for so long that some people start to speculate they set a world record for the longest time spent applauding. Even Pope Innocent, already known to be a persuasive speaker, struggles to quiet the crowd. When he manages it, though, the silence in the square feels blessed by the Holy Spirit. The whole world seems to hold its breath in anticipation for what the new Holy Father will say. Dear brothers and sisters, good morning. I am happy to meet with you on the Feast of All Saints. On this day, we reflect on those who came before us. That mission may feel more painful today than in years past. I know many of you have hearts full of mourning as we congregate today. Some of us will cry, and others will hide in their grief. Others still are wounded, listening to this address from their sick beds. Know that our Lord God is with you in your pain, and there is no loss too insignificant for his notice. May our Lord God help carry your burdens in this time of loss. May you feel his presence in the days to come. For this feast day, we are called to reflect on the communion of saints. The saints displayed exemplary devotion to God, but it is equally important to remember that they were also human. Indeed, some of you may be standing on the ground that once bore the footsteps of a saint. At the time, they would not have golden halos, nor be accompanied by choirs of angels. They would be ordinary men and women, just like you and me, living full lives in the midst of tumult and uncertainty. This very square is dedicated to St. Peter, the rock of our church. He lost his life for his faith, but before that he was a human man living in this very city. On this very soil he planned and quarreled and held dreams of the future. Now, many, many generations later, the continued vitality of our community is the result of his plans and hopes. Our directive to love Christ comes from God, but our church functions due to the effort of the flawed but resilient humans. Today, let us recognize the capacity for sainthood in others and in the people around us. Reading this out is giving me flashbacks to when I had to read out prayers in Mass. Like, straight up. I'm sorry if I'm turning into, like, the boring voice that you say when you're actually public speaking in front of a crowd that is about to take Holy Communion, but this is what that feels like. I'm getting thrown back. Above all, today, we are called to remember the Virgin Mary. Before she was Our Lady, she was a young woman coming of age in time of frequent civil wars in the Roman Empire. In our Holy Scriptures, she expresses astonishment when she learns she will bear the Savior. Like many other saints and prophets, she could not understand why God had chosen her for such responsibility. And like many saints and prophets and faithful over the years, she rose to the occasion anyway. In return, the faithful hold a special place in our hearts and community for her. We always will, just as we will remember all the saints that came before. Some of those saints may be lauded in every church in every country, while others may be known only to God. They are all beloved in his eyes. Let us entrust our prayers to the intercession of Mary, Queen of all Saints. The crowd roars again, even louder than before. At least for now, the church has accepted its new pope. There we go. Trombley neutral ending, Tedesco neutral ending, Adeyemi neutral ending. Oh wait, I can read them, hold on. Trombley floats, purposeless. He remains friendless within the Curia, only ever occasionally talking to Lawrence here and there. What else is there for him to do? Trombley never learns from his actions. He does not ever strive to be a better person, but he also was not provoked into foolhardy action. He remains lost in limbo forevermore, until death years down the line. That's sad. Tedesco continues to seek fulfillment out of the attention and control he gets from being the permanent opposition party. It's less satisfying for him with Pope Innocent though, because Innocent can be baited into reacting or becoming as solitary as the previous Pope. Tedesco has a sinking feeling he's wasting his life. But he doesn't let himself dwell on this for too long. There's always another controversy to derive an angry thrill from, after all. Adeyemi knows what he has done wrong, but never comes to accept the damage of what his actions brought out. He also never comes to appreciate Pope Innocent, and while not outwardly antagonistic to him due to decorum and hierarchy, he never learns his lesson. This is all very sad. Not much changes for Sister Agnes. She still runs the Vatican convent like the Navy, taking great pride in the work ethic of herself and her nuns. She doesn't often speak to anyone, and commands a level of respect even from the Pope himself. Lawrence and Bellini have been close friends for over 20 years, and have been scarcely spent a day without one another. This does not change in the slightest. With the conclave and the stressful week that followed tested their strength and devotion to that friendship, they found that it only succeeded in bringing them closer to one another. Bellini is emboldened by Lawrence and becomes a fierce ally of Pope Innocent, having the bravery and support to stand tall against his deposers. They still play their game, and no one ever wins in the end. But the joy was never in winning or losing for them. It was having someone to share their life with, and share it to the fullest they did. Their game! Their game! Nobody wins! Wait, this makes me so sad. Wait, I'm gonna look up what this says. Amici en Perpetuum. Okay. Amici, I know means friend, because there is an Italian restaurant named Amici here, and I love it. I love that place. Dumb reason to know a Latin word. Or Italian? Amici en Perpetuum means friends forever. And that's very sad, because it goes both ways, right? Where they're friends forever, as in they're devoted friends to each other the whole time. However, just friends forever. Which hurts. Holy Father. Lawrence deftly assists Pope Innocent for a few years before retiring. He occasionally has to contend with disappointment and frustration from the Curia as well as the faithful at large. The Catholic Church, true to its name, encompasses a wide variety of people and agendas, after all. Innocent is glad to have Lawrence at hand, though, because he can always be counted on to explain Vatican conflicts and controversies with roots that sprawl out decades into the past. Overall, Innocent is regarded as a capable pope who takes his concern of others seriously while having a mind of his own. He's able to shore up more political capital than the late Holy Father. He's several years into a successful papacy when Lawrence retires. Lawrence leaves feeling like he's quitting while he's ahead rather than slinking away in shame. He and Innocent remain in contact for the rest of their lives. I wish I had gotten a good ending with Sister Agnes. I tried though, I tried. we go, 2 achievements. And that's the game. That was really fun. Let's look at the turtle pond. Not settings, not settings. Oh, there we go. We got 2 turtles. Here's our gallery. We got our yaoi. We got 2 from Bellini. I imagine. Okay, we get 2 from Bellini. We have 1 from Benitez, 1 from Trombley, 2 from Adeyemi. So I imagine I actually don't know what the how many there are for each one. Maybe the negative endings have 1 each. But we did it, we finished. We got a Friends Forever ending. And it's fine. There was never going to be any true. I see this ending with Bellini similar to Sylvain and Felix's ending in Fire Emblem Three Houses, where sure it could be platonic, but it's funner to read it as gay as hell. Alright. I did not have a plan. I think we went on for long enough where I don't really need to play any other games. We have been going for 3 hours and 37 minutes. We finished. It was as close to a gay ending as we were ever gonna get. Guys, you should check out this game. If you want to support. The devs are great. They were really nice. I don't know if any of them watched today, but I know a lot of them watched yesterday. Follow them on Twitter, Blue Sky. Just search Conclave VN. This is such a wonderful little game. I am obsessed with all of the little details, the sounds, the UI. Everything has been. It's all the art, all the details, the writing. So good, so good. And it has no right to be this funny. The game was funny. It was so funny. And it allowed itself to be that funny, despite the such serious characters that they're dealing with. I just really wanted to be able to play this because as soon as I heard about it, I think I heard about it the day after you and me, Kettle, watched Conclave. And like literally right after we watched it, this game came up on my Twitter For You page, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe someone is working on this. And I just followed them, and I'd been tracking their progress. I was like, when is it coming out? When is it coming out? When is it coming out? And I was like, I'm going to stream it when it comes out, and I'm glad I did. I think this is, aside from demos, this is the first game we played start to finish on my stream, which says something about me as a gamer. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'm gonna go have some cake because the nuns made me want some cookies, and I don't have cookies, and cake is the closest I got. We're playing Wonderstop tomorrow. We're gonna continue Wonderstop. And hopefully we get through a good chunk of that tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to sleep tonight. So pray for me. And that's gonna be all. Let me see if there's anyone that I can raid right now. I'm too lazy to find someone to raid who will understand what we just accomplished today. So I think I'm just gonna end the stream. I'm kind of drained, especially after I finished that book. So I'm gonna go. See you around, guys. Thank you for hanging out, and have a good night.